beach too. Can't forget the beach. The beach too, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, sir. Go
That's
ahead.
always a great place to relax, right?
Yeah, only black sand. Hilo's a only black sand though over here.
Really, what's that mean?
It's only black. Um, it's just a younger sand. The white sand, I think it's coral. I think the fish eats the coral and poops out sand, but I think it just breaks up. It breaks up either way, just from the waves tumbling. So it's a younger area, right? We just had the lava flow. Mauna Loa was just going off over there. So
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, I see, before we get into all your wonderful accomplishments, I just want to get your opinion on some things.
Okay.
You see so much depression nowadays. Kids are depressed, older people are depressed. Mental health is so bad. And then you have this whole war on drugs thing, which obviously doesn't work. Because I think it comes back to the way people were raised and also what they do with mental health. So being that like you've been through it all, somebody may be watching this that, might be depressed or just having trouble. What's something you could recommend, to bring more happiness or to get out of that rump? You know what I mean?
You know what? You know what? When my friends talk to me about this kind of stuff, and before, I wouldn't take it as serious, but you see what happens. I'm 44 right now. You see what happens, right? You don't take those kind of talk serious, and people disappear. But I always try to talk to people. I always try to let them know. I say, you know what, man? Look how crazy my life is, and I keep going. I tell myself, I lift my head up, no matter what. I lift my head up. I walk outside, and you start your day, and you lift your head up. You take a deep breath. We all make mistakes, and you just keep going on for yourself, for your kids, for your friends, for the people you love, and you just, no one's gonna sit here and say it's easy, but you just keep going. You
Yeah.
never stop,
And see,
right?
people listen to you. If I say something, I'm a little peanut. You're BJ Penn. People will listen to you. So they'll be like, "I'm not listening to this idiot over here," but they'll be like, "Oh, I'm listening to
No,
him. He's wanting every weight
no,
class."
man. Oh man, after today, you call me and I need to straighten up. I'll listen like that. You know, I, I, I always do feel though that when I meet somebody, I'll know them for more than just this talk we have here. And we got mutual friends, and I'm sure this is the beginning of knowing each other now. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, yeah. Thank you so much again. And with the border, what do you think should be done with the border? It's a big problem, and I just had a daughter, my first daughter. She's 2,
Uh
or I'll get killed now. She's 2 years and 3 months. I'm dead, BJ. I might need you to come over and help me out.
huh.
But I see the border
Oh man.
issue and everything else. If you were in control, what would you do to shed this down and knock this down a
Like
little bit?
like if I ran for politics before, you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
as
yeah.
if I
Something like that. Yeah, yeah. You got.
Oh man. I you know, that's I mean, just thinking in my head, because Hawaii doesn't have a border. It's a kind of, though our borders are the airplanes, but it's a kind of different animal in that sense. I mean, she's I wonder what to think about the border a lot of times. And you hear all these crazy stories about all these different things, and people are hurting children and all these things. And then you see hundreds of kids on the news in a cage, and I wonder, it makes you wonder, like, is that an advertisement to tell people that there's a bunch of kids in a cage without ID numbers sitting here? I mean, are we looking at the news wrong? But I mean, like I said, it's a total different animal for me. I did run for governor last year, and I've heard solution after solution about what to do with what's going on in Hawaii, and you know, all I know about the border, as far as, is that, you know, Trump was trying to build the wall, and whatever was happening. And I'm really speaking out of ignorance, though, if I really speak deep about the border, because it's just such an animal,
Yeah.
such a different animal from a person who grew up in Hawaii. You know, that it's just so different.
It's kind of
But
like the only, like, I think, right solution might be a moderate way to deal with it. Because if you cut it off all the way, I think the only way anything would ever get done is where it's moderate. Like both parties give in a little bit, you know? But good luck getting that to happen,
you
right?
know, well, that's what you would always. I mean, I believe everybody is in the center. All everybody wants is some good jobs and their kids to be taken care of. You know, it's no one. I think that's just all an illusion that it's that way and this way. And I mean, if you ask me, you know, the Republicans are the capitalists, and then they say that the other side, the Democrats, are the socialists. But we know that's not true with the '90s Democrats for sure. But whatever is going on, I mean, either way, they're both partners, no matter how you cut it. You got the rich guy who owns the grocery store, and he lines everybody outside around his grocery store with that mask on, and he shows his loyalty to the party. But what's he showing his loyalty to? He's showing his loyalty to the food stamps. He's showing his loyalty to the EBT card. You know, and you know, me walking into this thing, I just walked in. I walked in blind. I walked in blindly, walking into what I went through, because I ran as a Republican. These guys are partners, man. These guys, the the richest guys in Hawaii, who own the, who build the roads, who own the grocery stores, who own these big companies. These companies take federal money, and the Democrats keep the federal money coming, man.
They're all
You
in
know,
cahoots.
come
They're
on,
all in cahoots. They're
let's
all in
not.
cahoots behind
Yeah,
closed doors, man. Right?
and yeah, and that's why every tree that the the state plants is not a fruit tree, you know, not every tree, but the one you can eat. Let's plant every tree here, but don't give them food, because we gotta create social classes. We gotta create division.
Great
We can
point.
have these guys just eating, walking down the road. We need these guys to never like each other. We need these guys to look at these guys and hate them, and vice versa. And that's what we need. And that's, you know, and a lot of people, I mean, you could say, you know, we got state lawyers, we got state electricians, we got state, every single state job you can possibly think of. But we don't have a fruit park with a state farmer just like kind of just not getting too involved. You don't want the state to get too involved, but just fruit park, or just plant some trees with some food on it. But they want to go after this redistribution of wealth,
Mhm.
because this is what makes
The divide.
trillions. It, you know, this technique, this technique of redistribution of wealth and pulling everybody's money, that's not a political ideology. Socialism or more strict communism, it's not a political ideology. That's a technique to take over everything. You know, and everybody's involved, and everybody's going, you know.
Well
So I
said.
mean, I look at it now. The Republican Party is, I mean, in Hawaii, is an arm of the Democrat Party, and they had they had me. So you need to. I mean, I got no proof for nothing. What I think, for my opinion, if I wanted to, if I had the power to make sure I can decide who wins, who would win an election, you need three things. I think after running this, you need a decent name, you need a fake poll, you need a fake poll in the newspaper, and you need somebody not be able to check the ballots, you know,
Yep,
kind
that's
of
it.
thing. But
Sad,
you know,
sad but true, but
I just
true.
yeah, I just saw what happened with what I ran into, but um, I look at it like, okay, Hawaii is a Democrat state. You can't get more blue. So they so the last day that you could sign up for the primary, they had the old lieutenant governor. The only time we've ever had Republicans get in was Linda Lingle was the governor. This guy Duke Iona was the lieutenant governor. So Duke Iona, he comes in on the last day with no money because they know I don't fuck around. I come in here, I'm gonna go and start doing some stuff here. I knew I couldn't make laws, but I knew I didn't have to make laws. And I'm not saying nothing about against the government or about them making laws. I knew I just needed to control all the departments. I knew I just needed to put somebody in the Department of Health, the Department of Homeless Hawaiians, the Department of Land and Natural Resources, and all these different things, and put somebody who actually follows the law. I knew, and this will go over everything. We don't have to sit there and make laws because that's a whole nother animal. But anyway, they had the lieutenant governor come in and run, and he owed them a favor. He cannot
No.
not do it. He's already had to do it a couple times. But what is that favor that he owed them?
Mm.
It's because there's no way him and the other woman could have won 2 terms as a governor in Hawaii.
No way,
They let
2
them in.
terms. No way, 2 terms.
Yeah, you hear what I'm saying?
No.
They let them in. So now they owe him for life, and they got to come in. Oh, hey, put your name in there. It's big enough. We can at least act, because they wanted to bring somebody else, but they had me go in. They had me do a lot of questioning and a lot of talking, and my whole life is fighting. Everything. All I think is fighting, but it's in every type of angle. It's not just with my fists. And we're problem solving thousands of problems of questions. We're problem solving thousands of answers in milliseconds, or we're moving out there, and I can pull myself to that high level of a competitor that I've been at. So I mean, you put me on the floor, we start asking questions. I'm there to win.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Let's Get Checked. Are you the man your father was? Recent studies have shown that men's testosterone levels have dropped substantially since the 1980s at about an average of 1% per year. Think about how old your father was when he was born. For example, if he was 30, your testosterone levels could be 30% lower than his. Low testosterone levels can have all type of health effects on men. It can affect your mood, sex drive, memory, muscle mass loss, you name it. And yes, low testosterone is more common the older you get, but it can affect men at any age. So let's talk about today's sponsor, Let's Get Checked. You can order a testing kit that will be delivered to you in a discreet packaging with next-day delivery. Once your sample arrives in the laboratory, confidential results will be available from your secure online account within 2 to 5 days. So, if you want to test your hormone levels without having to leave your home, visit trylgc.com/MSCS Media and get 25% off your test using the code MSCS Media. The link is in the description at the top. Podcast is brought to you by Monster Energy. Tear into a can of the meanest energy drink on the planet, Monster Energy. It's the ideal combo of the right ingredients in the right proportion to deliver a big bad buzz that only Monster can. Monster packs a powerful punch, has a smooth, easy drinking flavor. Athletes, musicians, co-eds, road warriors, metalheads, geeks, hipsters, and bikers dig it. You will too. Monster Energy is more than just the green OG. Monster has Monster Ultra, Juice Monster, Monster Hydro, Rehab Monster, Dragon Tea, Monster Max, Muscle Monster, and many more. Buy on Amazon, buy on Walmart, or go to monsterenergy.com and believe me, you'll find a place. Unleash the beast. Monster Energy. This episode is brought to you by Fiji. More than just water.
This is not just rock. It's ancient volcanic rock that filters tropical rain, giving it double the electrolytes and its signature soft, smooth taste. It's not just water. It's Fiji water.
And I got some answers, because the world champion, when you are the world champions, doesn't matter what sport it is, he's the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
He's not he you know
Because you are
he's not there to F around.
Yeah, because you applied all those championships you won and the ups and downs and the fighting and the weight classes that you switched from, man. I mean, one day when I get to shake your hand, how you did those weight, because I boxed like amateur, and just my little petty ass having to go from, 141 to 146, 147, and then trying to get back down quick to 144 was a bitch. I can't imagine the way you did it.
Hey man, hey now hearing that you box, I look a lot different at you, man. But great to hear.
Oh, thank you.
Look who showed up. Look who showed up to the conversation.
I got
another fighter.
I got 4 golden gloves. I got 4 golden gloves.
Oh man, hey.
3 in Pennsylvania, 1 in New York.
Hey, Dr. P just threw me in here. He didn't tell me anything. He just said you're gonna have a great time, man. So hey, that's awesome. That's awesome to hear.
Thank you. But I'm scared of you guys. When I was 19, UFC wasn't a thing. So if anybody had hands, come on. Now with this whole leg kick shit, Jiu-Jitsu shit, I don't know. You never know now. Somebody comes at me, and before I would be like, I don't care if you're 8 foot tall. If you go like this, I already know that's your weak spot. 1 hit to the kidney, boom, you're done. Now, you guys, you got these fucking leg kicks and these tackles. I'm done. I'm done.
Man, I was always the jiu-jitsu guy and the puncher. I really couldn't kick. And when I kick somebody else's shin, that's all theater after that, because I want to just cry and roll on the ground, my leg,
I can't imagine. I see that and I'm just like, ugh. But you know what you brought up, BJ? That you brought up something very important. I've never heard anybody talk about it. The homelessness in Hawaii. I've never heard anyone talk about that. Can you talk a little bit about and bring some light to some of the have you ever heard that, Scott? We got Scott, the engineer, here working the board in the back from Howard.
you know what? What's up, Scott? How you doing, man?
Say Scott.
Oh, pleasure to meet you, man.
Pleasure to meet you.
He's a fan.
No, we do. The homelessness is building up, and I got there's a lot of people homeless that I grew up with, even, that are just down there, and because I asked my friend the other day, I said, hey, you smoked meth for 20 years straight, you still got a roof over your head. I said, what about our other friend? How come he's living down over at the soccer field? And he looked at me and he said, whether he ever smoked meth or not, he was still going to end up there, BJ. Because they got the mental illness problems, trauma problems. You got all these things going on, and then you got all of our businesses getting crushed from the COVID and all these things. But I'll tell you what, going around, the best solution that I saw, that I thought, was that there's people, you could, what do I know about this? What do I know about something that could really help these guys? I don't know. But there's people who are helping the homeless, who've been helping the homeless for 40 or 50 years.
Yeah.
And those are the people that we got to get behind. Those are the people that we got to get behind. Those are the people that we got to support, because, I mean, the way they explained it to me is the homeless in Hilo and the homeless in Kona, they all kind of answer to different people. They're different gangs, just Hilo boys are different from Kona boys, period, So from what I understand and what they said is you keep it in their group and you have somebody that they all really respect, and you try to put these little what would be the
like little hint, like hints, or like
little refuge, city of refuge.
Yeah,
city of refuges for they to get on their get on their feet or whatever. But
now we're too worried about green.
The economy. Yeah, well, you know what? Green is just a continuous thing. The economy is weak. Why are all of our people in Las Vegas? Why are all of our manpower moving out of here? Opening up the land for everybody to grab. But you got to look at it all. Nobody needs to be up there. We have so much land on the Big Island. I don't know. You can fit 10 million, 15, 20 million people here. but they don't want jobs here. They don't want economy here. With the economy here, we can negotiate with the military. With an economy here, we can negotiate with other countries. They don't want this stuff here. There really is. You can travel to all the different islands. You get some nice tropical weather. But when you jump in our water, it's refreshing. And that's what a lot of other, the guys with the money who, they want to come here. This is it. This is it. This is the spot. Nice, cool water, nice, warm sun, you know, and you just, you know, if anybody would tell me now, if you say, BJ, what are you going to do? You're going to go, you got to keep running though. You can't stop. You got to keep going. And I almost want to say at this point, you know, fool me once, right? Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me.
Yeah.
Because we know what it is now. It's theater. We know. But you know, maybe
BJ, it's all theater. I had Peter McCullough, Dr. Malone. You've seen the guys I had in, the top of the top. And they will tell you, Dr. Epstein, who is the most accomplished, I don't even know how you say it, but the most accomplished psychology researcher in the world and ever. And he said exactly what you said, pretty much. If we don't start thinking for ourselves and not going to the doctor and the doctor says, BJ, you take this, Tommy, you take this. Now, let me go home and think about that. Or before I make a decision, think with myself, not be told what to do. All these heavyweights in the political world with these crazy minds, what's the point? You run, I run. As of now, in my opinion, and this is me saying this, it's already rigged. It's rigged every which way.
Oh.
And like they do, like they just did with Arizona, the box 3 bullshit, the mail-in. Okay, now everybody goes and looks at box 3 and mail-in. Well, now on the other end, while we're looking here, they're coming in with, whether it's Republican or Democrat, they're coming in the other angle with a new way. That's just my opinion.
And that's why, that's why you always got to remind everybody, keep your eye on the ball.
Yeah.
Keep your eye on the fucking ball. You know, you get emotional because, you know, I just spent the last year running around for nothing. But hey, you know what? But you know what? I learned so much. I had so much fun. I met so many people. I mean, I've never even been to the island of Molokai before. I went over there. I met a bunch of people. I met everybody. I was 10 times more famous than I ever was in my whole life. Bigger than any time I ever had the belt, bigger than anything. I couldn't walk down the road, couldn't go anywhere. They said I got 12,000 votes. I would walk into arenas of 12,000 people and they go, ah, and then start screaming.
BJ, it's like, and you know, nothing against him, whichever way, whoever is, but it's just like Biden got 80 million more votes than any other president that ever ran. 80 million more than any other president.
Yeah. It's like they want to add insult. They will always want to insult you. That's just one of the keys to the whole thing. And it's just down the line. Who's the worst guy who could we put and give them the best results ever? And then with the last one, right, where they traded the Merchant of Death and the Lord of War.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if.
Yeah.
I mean, I was saying, being that this whole thing is theater, I mean, did she get 25 or 50 million just to sit over there for a couple of weeks?
You know, she got 50. She got 50. You know, she got 50 or 49,999. You know, that bitch got 50, guaranteed.
Man, they make, you know, it just makes, it's just all theater. I mean,
yeah.
And they want to, they want to almost like they want to just spit in your face. They want to, right? That's all it is. They just want to spit in your face one more time. Hey, look who we traded for the Lord of War, folks. What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's almost like they just want to see our reaction. I just think it's at that point already.
Maybe that's their adrenaline rush or some sick shit like whatever.
Right? I mean, that's pretty good. That's some kind of adrenaline rush to do that to people.
I got to ask you this question too. You know that Idaho case, right? What's your instinct tell you? That Idaho case has been going on forever. You know, with the dad, and then there's the 4 girls, and then the other 2 people that were in the house. What do you think happened there? You know, with the girls that got murdered in the
Oh,
college, that's a weird situation, huh?
y- yeah, you know what? I ended up catching up on that on one of the MMA forums, and I saw it, and it had thousands of posts, and I was trying to keep up. That's where they were like cut, they were stabbed to death or something
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
their rooms, right? And there was a couple people home, but they didn't see any, they didn't hear anything.
Exactly.
Jeez, I don't even know what to say on that. I mean, we've seen so much stuff in our lives. I mean, we can't count anything out at this point,
The
right? I mean, what's your take on that, man? What I don't know if I followed up to as far as everybody else, but I know about it. It's four kids were there. It seemed like two girls called the same guy like 15 minutes apart or something. Were they both fooling around with that guy? Were they buying drugs? What were they doing?
yeah.
So what's the latest on that?
So the latest from what I know, I had Joe Waldman, and he used to be with Fox News, and Steve Cohen, who used to be with every station, and they were news guys and whatever. And so there was four girls that got stabbed, two others in the house. How you stab four people and two other people in the house at the same time don't hear it? I mean, okay, maybe you get away with one because you're good, but three other ones. So that means it has to be somebody that easily could get in, easily could get out. So if it's not the other two people that were in the house that did it, I don't know. I look at the dad, and I hate to say this, and I don't know. It's just, you know, from I take what a
Was
couple
the dad there?
that well, no, the dad, I don't know. You know, I mean,
No one knows. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
they're doing that whole. They're not saying much other than there's a timeline where they can't figure out where she was. There's like a 3-hour timeline. She's leaving the bar. They know that they were talking about the bartender, and that's about it. But the one I had a former CIA agent in, and he had said that he thought he was leaning toward the dad because of the body language. And he said, watch the father. And he wasn't saying that the father did it. He just said, you know, look at the father a little bit. And he never looks directly into the camera. He's never like this, me and you. If you ask, he's like this, he's like that.
Wow.
Now, maybe, you know,
Wow.
maybe he's on something, maybe he's just upset. But, you know, it kind of gives the kind of an indication if you can't look directly, and they're so quiet about what's going on in that case and not letting much out, right, Scott? I mean, nothing. And it's just, you know, so I hate to say it, but I'm either leaning toward the dad or that bartender that they had talked about
Yeah,
right after
I remember. I think the last I saw, and I didn't get to keep up, was that they had a video, and some guy they were at like outside by the food truck or something, and some guy kind of
walking.
followed them.
Yeah.
So
What was the last thing you saw?
is that
Scott?
guy out?
Let's see
Same
Scott.
thing. That's what I saw. The food truck, and then there was a picture of a guy
Yeah.
that they saw in the street, and that's it. That's all I know.
Fuck.
And then I saw an interview of a guy with no shirt. Like, oh, that's real sus. That's sus. So
So
this
he
is
had no
sus.
shirt on? Are you serious?
It was one of the guys who was there,
What the
or
fuck?
but he just did it on his Instagram to get hits or something, and he was lying in his bed with no shirt, and he was like, you know, it's real sus the way the guy was acting. He just kept saying that word over and over, and I just remember that.
That's crazy.
But
You know, I don't know. Something's weird. We'll find out
very
eventually.
interesting. But what would be some kind of motive for any of that?
If there's a motive, the only motive that could be is that, but four people, I don't know, man. It didn't seem like there's no signs that they were, you know, getting drugs all the time. So like as if they were a drug dealer, unless some guy just wanted to sleep with one of them, didn't get his way, and then went nuts, or you know, like a stalker type of guy. I don't know. What do you think, Scott? You've been in the business.
Right?
Scott's been in the business
You never,
40 years.
You never know. Like that Brian Laundrie case. You know, why would he kill that girl? I mean, you know. So I mean, it's some people are just so mentally ill. You can't figure them out at all.
Yeah, and that goes back to what we said. You know, it's always the drugs, the mental. They got to start worrying more about how people are mentally. You know,
you almost wonder. It almost feels like a lot of the mental hospitals almost like they don't take as much people, or they're just kind of closed down right now because it just seems like all the people are on the street right now.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know what though? When I walk down here, I mean, somebody could be yelling up at the sky and this and that. And then as soon as I walk past them, they're like, "Hey, BJ, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, how's it going, man?" And then we just start talking, and and especially if I see any of my friends from high school and they're like, kind of just like on the corner yelling when I or even any of us old friends walk past, they're just, "Hey, man, how you doing, man? Hey, good to see you. Good to see you, man." Man, it's a trip, right? Because it's a small town and
Yeah.
it's it's that I always tell everybody, that I see them and they always tell me hi, and it is a good feeling though. It's a good feeling to be recognized by the people and appreciated. Even anybody got any hard times or anything going on, and they still give me the respect to tell me hi. So I really appreciate it.
When you
But
were,
it's getting overrun, and a lot of people are sitting in front of the commercial spaces, and I just wish, and this isn't a problem that's going to be fixed real soon, but I just wish, we could, say some women want to go eat dinner that day and now they don't want to walk on the sidewalk because of all the homeless. I wish it could just be like almost like like an unspoken aloha type rule, like, hey, don't come over here till 9:30 or till the place closes at 9 anyway. Come at 9:30 and lie out because it's a little, like I said, the women don't want to walk on the street. They rather walk to the parking lot, and it just, I wish it was everybody could kind of fit in.
yeah, so maybe as of now, like some type of curfew, right? Like a curfew.
Yeah,
But when you were
right.
running though, when you were running, how cool was it to be in your hometown and walk through and everybody 12,000, yeah, 12,000. But everybody, but it's your hometown and you're doing it, and where you were born. How cool is
Yeah,
that, man? I mean, all the other shit
man.
is cool, but sometimes when you go back to the beginning, and then you come back and now
Yeah.
you're running. Who cares what happened?
Eh,
The odds,
you,
shit.
and you know what? I retired for a year or two, so now when people would tell me hi, I would just come be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I just keep walking. But then when I got into the campaign with I would walk and people tell me, I'm like, well, I go and talk to everybody, and a lot of, a lot of people, if I didn't meet them before, um, once I shook their hand, that was already more than half the battle because they don't know if I'm an asshole. They don't know if I'm a cocky prick or anything. They don't know. So I meet them, and as soon as I shake their hand, man, I would always say, "Put me in front of them, I'll get their vote." I'll always tell them, "Put me in front of them, I'll get their vote." And we had so many people come up to me that were Democrats and saying, "I only voted for you. I didn't check anyone else down because they didn't want to vote for any other Republicans." But they can you see me?
Yeah,
Can you see
yeah,
me right now?
yeah. I see.
Okay, yeah. They didn't want to vote for any other Republicans, but they all said that they checked my name. A lot of people and a lot of older people walked up and said, "I never voted in my life, and I want to let you know that I'm going to vote for you, and or I voted for you." So it's surprising how many people don't vote. I mean, never voted before because so many older people too. A lot of young people, more young people, but man, just as many old people came up and said, "I never voted in my life."
Really?
You know, but and the whole sad thing too is you see, well, the biggest turnout, the more registration with everything. Oh, too bad nobody voted. Too bad only 40% voted, 60% didn't vote, or whatever, or whatever. We can't check that shit. We can't tell how
Yeah.
many people voted or not. But you know what it is. So this one news station, I was just avoiding all the big news because we were strong enough. We didn't have to be out. Everybody could just know from grassroots and from social media. So was avoiding them. But this one news station, KITV, they kept trying to be nice to us, kept trying to like show us in a like one or two interviews in a little bit of a positive light. So they said, "Hey, can we'd like to come and the primary night, we'd like to come over and maybe catch some video and stuff on the primary night." And I go, "No, that's not a good idea. No, we're just gonna kind of keep it personal and family and just friends and stuff." So they kept asking us, but so we finally said, you know what, you guys were kind of nice to us. You guys were nice to us, so we'll do an interview with you guys. So we all agreed on the interview. So as soon as I sit down and do the interview, and it was a good interview. We did the whole interview. It was a good interview. I walked out. My friend goes, "Hey, that was a good interview, BJ." The next thing they play on the TV right after my interview, it was a whole edited thing. Josh Green versus Duke Iona. The race is over. The primary's done. That was the next exact segment they played right after that. But after that, I realized I should have told them to come so they could be filming. And once that happened, I go, this is such bullshit. Give me that camera.
I would have been the same way, buddy.
You know, I should have. No, but you look at that, and you know why they do that. You know why they give the power to the media to announce these things. Why? Because it's got. Why don't they do a press conference like Dana White or Don King and have the head of the elections walk up and say, "Your guy," with all the press there, "Your guy's new governor is this." You know what? Because I think that'll get him in trouble. I think that'll get him in trouble for lying and doing a press conference up there. So he lets these guys do it. And these guys aren't even probably citizens of the United States who own these companies. And they're protected by freedom of speech, by our Constitution, because of the media. It makes me sick when people that aren't Americans are protected by our Constitution like that.
And they're paid off. And they're paid off too. And
yeah, well, that
paid off.
I think that's what they're for. That's why they use them. They can announce anything they want. The Office of Elections cannot announce it, but these guys can say, even if you did win, let's say you did win the president or the governor, these people don't got to tell anybody. They don't have to tell anybody you want. What if they just never told anybody? They said, from the looks of it now, it looks like the other guy's winning. So we're going to see. It could take 6 months for them to figure this out. It could take a year. We'll see what happens. They don't have to tell anybody. Why would the New York Times have to tell anybody? Why would CNN, Fox, any of the, or Hawaii News Now, or the Star Advertise? These guys don't got to tell anybody you want. This thing is crazy, man.
It's whoever's paying the check. It's whoever's paying the light bill for the media station, who's ever paying for those big blue lights or red lights or screens around. Whatever big pharma company is giving them money, whoever they want in is going to get in, because that, whether it's a right station or left station, it doesn't matter. Whoever's paying for those commercials is who that station is going to lead toward, and that host is going to lean toward, because that host wants his job. That whoever owns that station wants to keep the station on, and the only way the station stays on is the commercials. And Big Pharma has most of the commercials, the heavy ones, and pays the most. So whatever they want is the way they're going to sway, in my opinion. No, it's true, and you almost wonder if they're just the straight mouthpiece, even, that they can just say it because they're not against the law. They haven't given any oath to any of that stuff, right? I'm sure there's somewhere in the Office of Elections thing that says, hey, if you lie, you're going to be in trouble. But they didn't lie because they didn't say it. The other guy said it. That's got dust on it, BJ. That piece of paper there that says that you can't lie, it has dust, rock, dirt. It's falling apart from, water damage.
It does make me wonder, like, they couldn't have put Hillary, if they were planning on doing this thing. You think they could have put Hillary Clinton in here and have her introduce the vaccine to us? Well, we've so this lady's she's a killer. She's gonna kill us with this. I mean, I don't know if what went off is good.
They tried. They tried with the 5G. They tried with the 5G. Remember those everybody was 5Gs? Remember that? Like the towers. Right?
Yep.
The initial reason, you'll never have 5G. You can't have 5G. The 5G towers, there was Huawei parts in that from China. And the initial way that they were going to shoot COVID out and around, this is not me talking, the document's there. I'll send it to you. Was to use the 5G to shoot the COVID through radiation. When they tested it in, I think it was 2012, because we had the correspondence, it killed all the fucking birds within a mile and a half. So they were like, geez, well, we built all these towers of 5G and we can't use it. And in the emails with all this, to make the point, In the emails, it starts out as, this is the first step, the step. When they went and tested the 5G towers in 11 or 12 to see if it would work to shoot it, and it whacked out birds, fucking owls, anything around it, they were like, well, this isn't a good idea because anyone around is going to get fried. So then the emails go from step to test, because the pandemic, I know you're going to think I'm nuts, but this is not from me. This is from those guys, you know, heavy hitters, that it started here, then went to China, was worked on in China by the US, back and forth from 2009. And then it was leaked from China by people from the US and then blamed on China. And that's in documents. And that's from Peter McCullough, Dr. Malone. And they said it right to me on here for 4.5 hours. So I don't think those guys have it messed up. But that's what the 5G was. Crazy, right? But when you put all that together,
you know what?
And somebody can do that, and they can go that far. And if that's all true, let's just say it is true. And for 10 fucking years, they play with that. If they can do that, and then the voting, what the hell is anything?
You know, it does make you wonder. I mean, with everything first of all, these guys are so smart. If they got us fighting against each other every day about the mask, then it's not airborne. That's how sick these people are. That's how smart these people are. You know, of course they would, you know, to get ready to raise your kids to get ready for these people, you have to teach them the game opposite day. All the time. You just teach your kids opposite. Whatever I tell you, you do the opposite.
Wear
no
opposite.
matter what.
Wear opposite shoes. I won't yell. Your dad won't yell. Put opposite shoes on, gloves, fucking hat. Fucking put your pants on upside down. Don't listen to your mom. They're fine.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is amazing, you know? And
BJ,
these guys.
What's it like growing up with 3 J's in the family?
You know, we kind of tell people every once in a while we all got the same name, but they kind of think it's all just initials because one, what we call Pop, and then we had J, one was J, one was JD, and then me was BJ, Baby J. But then my brother went and had 3 more JDs, so it's LJ, little J, AJ, another J, and MJ, more J's.
See, I think that's cool as shit. I think it's cool as shit. I think it's great. And then you
know, it's you know why my dad did it? Because he's a mother effer. That's the kind of stuff he likes to glitch the matrix with. No, same name. He needs an insurance card. He needs you know, he always was like that. But he told me the same thing you said. Because, you know, when you'd watch those crazy videos or whatever, who runs the world and all this stuff, and he says, but what does that have to do with anything? You just stay. What you're gonna do, you keep doing your job, work as hard as you can, take as much best care of your kids as you can, get as most successful as you can, and do everything you gotta do and take care of your children. That's the game plan, you know. And that was always him. Yeah. And that's what after realizing this whole thing was theater, that's what, you know, I tell people. This businessman over here comes and says, I know you won. What are we going to do now? I go, what we're going to do now is exactly what you're doing now. You're going to work as hard as you can, make as much money as you can, get as successful as you can, and take the best care of your kids as you can. That's the game plan right now. And that's all of our game plan. You know?
That's great advice. That's great advice.
That was always his advice to me. You know, he told me a few things. He would tell me all the time, he would say, think past the pain. He would say, nobody likes the tattletale. And he would say, never carry another man's bag on the airplane. That was his three advice rules for me all the time.
So your parents are Irish and Korean, right? So I would imagine a very loving household, but very disciplined. And I certainly would not want to piss anybody off of your mom and dad.
So my dad is Irish, and then my mom was half Native Hawaiian, half Korean. Beautiful. And there's some kimchi temper in the house here and there, but
I was born Italian, you know, so with my family, everything is fine 1 second, and then the next second even, like before my grandmother passed, an 80, a 5'4" lady, she'll walk up to Mike Tyson and hit him. She was just a nutcase. And then cook them raviolis. This episode is sponsored by Aurora. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is? For years, this crime rate has been surging and affecting millions of Americans. I'm talking about identity theft, and there's a new victim every 14 seconds. Yet despite this, those who have had their identity stolen are often shocked when it happens. That's why I'm excited to partner with Aurora, who is sponsoring this video. Aurora is identity theft protection, fraud monitoring, a VPN, password management, and antivirus software all into one easy-to-use app. Their VPN allows you to stay anonymous online by keeping your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. Protect you and your family from America's fastest growing crime. Try Aurora for free for 2 weeks and see if you or anyone in your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial today. Go to aurora.com/MSCS. The link is in the description below. Like it was nothing.
It's like when they say, it's like, how's BJ if he's drinking or whatever? Everything's fine till it's not. Everything's fine. No, but I always say, hey, people always want to offer me a drink, and it's been a little while since I drank, and I always just stick with I'm allergic. I break out in handcuffs, and No, man, no. But one thing that this governor's race did for me, which I really had a hard time with, it made me walk away from being a prize fighter. It made me, because that was such my identity, and I had such a hard time doing it. It was so difficult, and now that I walked away from that, I got to get comfortable with my life again, because I put that aside. I ran into a couple of old famous fighters that we all know. My alumni, and we're all sitting there, and they're talking to me about their next fight, and I'm just like, shit, man. I'm 45, 44 is 45, and I'm like, you guys are 3 or 4 years older than me, and you guys are all talking about your next fight, and it just really gave me some perspective right there, man, because you can't get out of that thing, because that's just always a well that you can go pull. Even if you had enough money and you were investing your money, you're still gonna say. Frankie Edgar asked me he was talking to me, and I'm just like, don't ever say your last one. Just go until it's done. That's what I did. After that, what do you do? So it's just, that's tough, man. It's tough to ride off into the sunset. Where does an old broken fighter go, right? Where does an old broken fighter go? It turns into a father. And gets back on the road, and but I can't believe I would be exactly where they are. Hey, come on, at least let me fight in Japan one more time. Who's the famous new kid coming up in Japan? Let me fight him, or whatever.
I think you should run. I think you should run in Hawaii again. I know you got, I know it's a bunch of bullshit, but eventually it will level out a little bit. I think you should stick with that.
Yeah.
You got great ideas. And like I said, I never heard anyone talk about the homelessness in Hawaii. And when I would ask somebody from California or Vegas, like somebody famous like you, so on and so forth, what would you do with the homeless problem? What would you do with this or that? And I never heard anyone say something like what I think is very smart and not that expensive, like refugee buildings, and then curfews in certain areas, and get them out of the shit, and then the right mental health. So I really think, BJ, for whatever it's worth, I could see the passion when you're talking about it. I would just stick with it and fuck it and fight until you beat them. Eventually you'll beat them.
And what I was, while I was running, I said, we're gonna bring the Olympics to Hawaii. How do you change a generation? Inspire them. Imagine the Olympics being there. Imagine a kid who's homeless and he's with his mom, and he tells a story later. He goes, the Olympics came to Hawaii, and me and my mom, we were homeless. But I knew that, and I couldn't go watch, but I knew that moment, I was going to be the 100-meter champion, that nobody was going to stop me. And that's what it's about, inspiring the people. And we would do these debates and we would do all these things and I would think in my head, why don't all of us go down to the juvenile jail and go talk to these guys? And let's see who can inspire any one of these people. It ain't going to be you guys. It's going to be me, because I want to tell them. One day you're holding a belt over your head. The next day your hands are handcuffed behind your back. But I ain't ever going to sit there. I ain't never going to stay there. I'm always going to get up. I'll never stay down. And you guys will never stay down either. And once I start talking to them, immediately their eyes just look up, because they know that I know. They know I know about getting in trouble. They know I know about being an idiot. And they know I know about negotiating in business deals. They know I know about fighting my ass off, fighting for my life. And, you know, I would see them doing these debates and all these different things. And I was just like, you know, it was nothing to what needed to be done. But I do regret at one time when they said, do you want to ask Mr. Iona, do you want to ask any of your opponents a question? And I should have said, because Iona's a judge, so and he was doing this talk or whatever, and I should have told the people, no, I don't want to ask these guys the question. I just want to ask the crowd a question. Does anybody here know what the fuck Duke just said? Exactly, because he's speaking legalese. He isn't speaking English. He's speaking like we're in a courtroom right now. All we're talking about, the Department of Use, all we're talking about is whether it's residential, commercial, industrial. That's all we're talking about right here. But the goal isn't for me to know. It's for you guys to know what's going on. I'm only running here. I'm only running one term and I'm taking no salary. And I'm only going to do this one time for one term. But it's not for anything else, but for you guys to realize. Listen to this shit going on around us right now. No one's telling anybody what's going on. They're talking legalese. They're talking mumbo jumbo. You know, this is for you guys. I really wish I stepped up and, you know, I asked them a different question, but I should have just came straight out with it.
Then run again. BJ, you got it. You got it. Look at the passion. You got to run again and get that out of you. BJ, you know how you are. You're going to go nuts until you get that out of you. You got to run again. If only just to fucking say that, you got to run again. It's going to drive you nuts for the rest of your life. You're going to have a fucking stroke and heart attack because you didn't say that, BJ. You got to do it.
Well, I told myself I would put my name. I think they tried to show me like, hey, you got 12,000 votes and you only got 5,000 from your island. So what they were trying to show me was like, you're kind of win your island. But
come on, DJ.
But yeah, with everything going on, you know what though? While I was traveling all around, that's why I said I didn't know about the campaigning anymore, because I was traveling everywhere and I was like, I want to do this to help you. I want to do this to help your children. I want to do just to help you, the future of the children. And then I'm like, I'm not even watching my children while I'm running around here. you know, but I hear what you're saying. We got to figure out how to do it. You know, what would be nice if there was a lot of people like have our same views and are politically minded and maybe some well-known people, some celebrities and stuff. And we start some kind of coalition where we constantly pay these guys, where we get money, we donate. Maybe it's my day that month or that year to go and help out, and other people help out, and we get money to send freedom fighters to the court buildings all the time to look at all these bills, because these things are just going right. We don't know shit up. You know, why didn't they teach us from kindergarten to 12th grade everything about the government, the Constitution, everything? Why? Imagine the police trying to arrest us. Ha ha ha! That's funny. I know everything.
I know the law.
They can do anything they wanted.
Yep.
Yeah. Why did they give us a real financial education? Why did they? You know, and just you see it. You know
how you went to the juvenile detention. You know, if Teddy Atlas and Cus D'Amato didn't go and take Mike Tyson out of juvenile detention, Mike Tyson wouldn't be Mike Tyson. They went there just like you did. And they went and they talked to Mike and they talked to the COs and they got him out of there to come, you know, practice at the gym. And then Teddy Atlas and Cus D'Amato, he's 11, 12, looks like he's 18, just throwing haymakers, just dropping everybody, out of nowhere.
Amazing, yeah.
And like you said, you go into those jails like that, and a guy like you and more guys like you, Baz, guys like that, they go in, and then you get them out one by one, get them into other activities, something that they love, where they have hope. They have hope,
Yep.
And can you imagine, BJ, the Olympics in Hawaii? How good that'd be for the economy, the tourists.
Oh my God.
On the map.
Shot in the arm.
Give every kid in Hawaii the idea, one day I could be there in the Olympics. And other people too. I mean, that would be huge.
Yeah. That's what Mike Tyson did. He inspired a generation, and that's the whole thing. And I was looking at the homeless problem, and you look at the different things, and you look at, they got hope services, and they got these different things to help them. But if we can only inspire them, inspire their children, that's what's going to make them stand up. That's what's going to make them get out of there. We saw Mike Tyson do that, and we said, hey, what if I could do that? And I would want to tell, I was talking to my friend the other day, and I wanted to say, I got to do a post about how important daydreaming is. Daydreaming is how I became the UFC champion. I'm sitting there thinking then I'm going to kick his ass. And I'm sure you've done it, and you just, this is how I'm going to talk to this guy. And this is how, and daydreaming is one of the most powerful things you can ever do. So kids, when you daydream big, daydream as big as you ever possibly can. That's how I became a UFC champion. I believed it one day. I daydreamed about it, and you just keep going. And from your next to your next battle, never stop daydreaming, everybody.
I've said it ad nausea, but whether it was business, whatever, but when I was fighting, I thought, I would be the next Mike Tyson, okay. But I would have a poster on my wall of a Lamborghini, a Spider Lamborghini. I said, one day I'm going to be I'm going to get it, boxing, not this Golden Glove shit. I'm going to be a pro boxer, and I'm going to get that Lambo. Now, I didn't get it through boxing, but one day I ended up getting that Lamborghini, and I would always look at that poster for my drive. So my question to you is, nowadays with this new generation, and you can't even have a conversation with somebody for 3 minutes without them feeling if their phone's vibrating. You go shake their hand, somebody you haven't seen in a minute, that's your friend. How you doing, buddy? Not like a guy like you or Bass or whatever, just on average. How you doing? And they're just checking their phone. They're going like this. How do you get people out of that where they do daydream again, where they daydream again and think about what the future could be? And then you have the other problem where, like you went through all this shit to win these championships. And now you got these people giving trophies to everyone so everybody's equal. What is that? How do you progress with no progression when everybody gets awarded, whether they did right or wrong, whether they won or not? Like, what do you do about those three things, BJ? And those are major things.
You know what?
I just threw you three.
Right? Hey, a lot of people talk about that too. I mean, for us, we're in there. We ain't gonna let you beat us. Right off the bat. First of all, you're not gonna beat me. That's just us, our competitiveness.
Yeah.
And then you want to throw, and then you throw in, and then everybody still gets medals and stuff, and it's just so foreign to me. I kind of always just kind of look. I don't really pay attention because it's just such a foreign thing in my head, But this is real, and I hear people. Because we can all be like, oh, it's a nice thing to do, Everybody, we can all do that, but I understand where everybody's coming from, because that's what that's what it's about. And I remember watching this little clip on Instagram, and the coach was telling the kids, and was saying, if you don't play hard, you're gonna be you don't want to be a loser. And if your dad told you it's just out here to have fun, he's a loser too, Yeah. And that's what the guy was trying to get to the kids. But you know what? I do feel there is a need to tell the kids that, because you don't want to be out there and not be prepared. I mean, this is a rough, dangerous world we live in. This thing will beat you down till you're dead, and just keep taking from you until you're just like, I had enough already. And And
like you said,
where are you
but
gonna
this
where are
is
you gonna
what they
build that
want.
instinct?
They don't want
This
you to
is
have
what
any
they
drive
want.
anymore. They just want you to wake up
Yeah.
every day. Everybody's equal. Everybody gets a paycheck from the government. Everybody looks to the government for the next paycheck. You know, there's
Yeah.
nobody that's, you know, up till 5 a.m. and up at 6 a.m. trying to be that best because, you know, like when you were fighting, obviously, my little shit fights, you know, I knew at 4 a.m. the guy I was going to fight in 2 weeks, he's not up at 4 a.m. and I'm up at 6 a.m. Now, I only got 2 hours of sleep. I went right and I sparred. And
Yeah.
I knew that that guy wasn't doing it on 2 hours of sleep because I had drive,
Yeah.
because I wanted to win. I wanted to have the things around my neck to get pussy, to be honest with you.
Of course, that's all it was for.
I mean, just,
But I agree. I you know what? I just want to say it because I would always talk to my coach about it, and you know when you talk about the fights that you had, and you know what, your first amateur fight, we both know, me and you as fighters, same effing thing as being in the biggest. It's all the same shit, man. For doesn't the world championship fight you're gonna fight for? Yeah, there might be a lot on the line, but you felt the exact same way as that first fight over there because your life's on the line, man. And the one thing people can say, this sport's more dangerous, this sport's no more dangerous. Yeah, but no others. But like, oh, maybe a wave could get you or something. But yeah, but that wave's not gonna go around and tell everybody he kicked your ass for the rest of your life.
no,
You know,
no,
that's
no,
the worst
yeah.
part, right? That's the worst part, man. The worst part is everybody, not
Yeah.
not what happened to me physically. It's
No.
everybody watching it
Yeah.
happen. That was the worst fucking part.
Yeah, and remember,
Right? But
remember,
there's-
I'm 19 and 20, so I'm not even of legal age yet to
Wow.
drink. So I got to go back to my friends who will break my. I
Man.
don't care if I can't move my neck. I have a broken hand, leg, wrist, whatever. But if I lose, and I got to go back to my friends, oh shit. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, I was
Man,
worried about what they would say.
And the fight's not the fight.
Yeah.
And that's why I always say I never really trained people, not jiu-jitsu, not boxing. I was always a training partner. But I would always say, if I'm training somebody, I never did, but if I would train somebody and I put time into them, I'd never be like, okay, you're sparring today. I'd go find a coach across the way that's working with his fighter. I'd say, hey, coach, can my boy get a couple rounds with you tomorrow? With your boy tomorrow? And we say, sure, BJ, we'll get these kids some rounds tomorrow. I look at my guy and say, kick his ass. I'll see you tomorrow. Let him go home all night, because that's the fight. The fight ain't the fight. The fight's waiting for the fight. We all know that.
Yep.
That is the fight. That's how you create a killer. That's how you create somebody. You be so uncomfortable. So he's there, and you find somebody, a different race, speaks a different language, different social class, and then you make him a real killer, and you keep throwing him in there like that, and let him think about it all night. We know what it's about.
All night, all week, and just tape. Back in, with me, it was my coach just made me watch fucking tape. And I'd be like, oh my God, Italian guy. I'd say, Salvatore, more of this fucking tape. I already know what he fucking does. Watch it again now. Ah, fucking nuts, you know. And then the other thing you have, DJ, is, you know, whatever people say now, at the time I was like, what an asshole. But if my grandfather, who I didn't get the height, he was 6'6", if he didn't whoop my ass a few times, I would have no discipline. You know, if he didn't make me practice until he was very, you know how old school Italians and Irish are.
Right. I can
they're
imagine.
fucking
right.
But if he hadn't done that, I wouldn't have always had the drive. So if I lost, if I got a business and I went broke, if I had a couple million and went down to zero, I've already been through hell. You know, like, okay, start over again.
Yeah.
And I always looked at it, when I lose everything or I lose, because to me, as long as I gave my all and didn't give up and I go back, no matter what it is, then I didn't lose.
Right.
But I find out who my friends are real quick, because when I don't have the money no more and people aren't saying, Tommy, where's every fucking buddy? But then when I have a business again, oh, Tommy, I lost your number. I got a new phone. I can only imagine how many times you heard that.
What did Dundee say? And I always try to tell as much people as I can. What did Dundee say? He said, don't look around the room when you win. Look around the room when you lose.
Yeah.
See who's there when you lose, right?
Fuck
That's,
yeah.
you know, that's everything.
That's
That's the
everything.
whole fucking thing.
That's
No
it.
matter what you're doing. No
Because
matter what you're doing, man.
because I hate people that I've had in my life in the past that I was just too kind, I guess, that only liked me when I was up to their standards. But when I wasn't doing what they wanted or acted the way they wanted, then fuck Tommy. But as long as I'm with, and that's within my family too. But as long as I'm within your little standards, now I'm good enough. But when I'm not, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Man,
Yeah.
man, you know the rules. You know the rules. You know the rules, man, right?
Yeah.
And it's just
Man.
sad, man. You know, that just kind of just made me think about family court and just different things. But it's amazing the stuff we go through in our lives. And, you know, and like I said, then you just walk out the door, F it. That's what's in the newspaper. I don't care. Head up, walk outside and just keep going. Just keep going.
But I
wish that happened to you. You wish.
Yeah. And I think guys like us, like, okay, it's in the newspaper. I don't give a shit because when I was growing up, I'm worried about a newspaper. I am not worried about a newspaper. You know?
We didn't do this for that.
No.
Right?
No, I ain't worried about no
this
newspaper.
to be the baddest mother effer on the planet. That's why we did this.
Right. And then all my friends in school that had better cars than me, I wanted 10, 20 years to come back later and be like, while you're driving that same shit car and your dumb job and your 9 to 5, here I am talking to BJ Penn or whoever it may be. How's your job? How was it when you left me behind? How was it? And that was my, a lot of my drive.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Hey, man, and congratulations, man. Congratulations on everything you're doing. And thanks for telling me some of your story too. So it's
sure, yeah. I like it to just be like guys hanging out, talking with this shit, not like
Yeah.
Okay, BJ Penn. Yeah, I know you're a killer fighter, but what does BJ Penn think about other things? That's what I want to know. You know?
And you know what? Sometimes you come on a podcast and it's like the guy talking to you, he won't even give you a chance to talk. So you just kind of hang out. It's just like that sometimes. Right? So I start asking them questions. I just start going, I mean, I was,
what, BJ Penn,
I noticed that here and there.
BJ, I'll give you a tip.
Huh?
I'll give you a tip. It drives me nuts. Whenever you go to a podcast, if they start that shit, like where they're running the show, blah, 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 they have a thing that they got to ask this, bring a PowerPoint and tell them you want to pull up a PowerPoint and keep going. Hey, can you pull up slide 3 as they're talking about the same thing 37 times? No, slide 3, slide 4. I can't tell you how many times, guests had come in and I'm trying to help them and they want to go right to whatever they're selling. And I would say, look, we'll get to your PowerPoint, but this isn't how it's going to go. Nobody knows what the hell you're talking about. We got to get people to like you first, pal, and then we can play PowerPoint. So if you want to piss off a guy on a podcast, when you go to it, always have a PowerPoint and you'll drive them nuts because now you're up there on the screen or it's up there and people want to see BJ Penn, not whoever's asking you questions. Now they're screwed. Man. Now you threw them off and now you own them.
That's a good one, man. That's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge. I love that.
Now,
I've been there a few times.
Oh, yeah, me too. Prior to
go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Prior to when you were 17 and met Tom, I want to say his name right, Carlos.
Yes.
What were you into prior to that? Prior to 17, what was? What was like? What would you like? What was your thing?
We kind of just were just cruising around town, just kids getting in trouble. I knew about fighting though. I would call it wrestle boxing. I'd be like, oh, I'll wrestle box his ass or whatever, But you know what? I was getting into I was fighting and stuff, fighting and just trying to make my name. I didn't want to, I was thinking about this the other day. I didn't want to be nobody. I wanted to be somebody, and I wanted to be I wanted to be as anything I could be, like my daydreams and stuff, and I knew and I wanted to be on TV. You know, I wanted to be something. I mean, you know, but I knew I couldn't sing, and I knew I could. I knew, you know what? I wasn't the toughest and I wasn't the best. I was mean. I was mean out there. I was mean, and I wanted when I first got my first fight on the I remember just even doing jiu-jitsu. They had me on the Brazilian television. I said, "Oh my God, I'm so famous. I'm on the television in Brazil. Look at that. Look at that." And then I fought my first fight, and they just had a little 30-second clip because it was in the prelims. And I said, "Look, my life's done. I've accomplished more than I can't even believe that. Look at that. Even though it's 30 seconds, I'm on the UFC tape." And I just thought that was the biggest thing as a kid coming from Hilo. And
how did Brazil take that? When you fought in Brazil and won, and you were the first American to win in Brazil, right? Do I have that right?
Yes.
How did Brazil?
Yes.
How did Brazil take that?
You know what? They were very appreciative and
Really?
very nice. And,
Wow.
and like they had this chant for me when I would be out there. It was Ai OBJ do Hawaii.
Oh, very
Ai OBJ. So, you know, I mean, that was my team of hundreds of people yelling it, but around everyone, you know, I think because I was from Hawaii and they saw me as a Hawaiian, and I think they felt somewhat connected. And you know, no one ever gave me trouble about it. But I'll tell you what, right before that match, I ate lunch a little bit before, a few hours before, and while I was sitting there and I was daydreaming, and I thought, you know, if my arm breaks or my leg breaks, no matter what happens, BJ, you might never ever be in this position again. No matter what happens, win this. This is gonna change your life. And it changed my life. And it's just amazing that Tom Callis, you know, he kept asking my dad, "Hey, I see your kids around," because we would box a lot in the front yard, and because I'd go around to all the different boxing gyms and try to work out with everybody and spar and stuff. So he saw all of us kids, and he kept telling my dad, "Hey, have your son come down and come do some jiu-jitsu." And I saw the UFC, but I didn't know what to make of it. You know, I saw it, I liked it, I thought it was cool. I wanted to see Gracie keep winning. I thought that was awesome. I like tradition. I like things and I thought it was cool, but I never wanted to do it, you know. But I went down and Tom Callis choked me out. We went to the to the rec center over here. He choked me out, he armbarred me, and I thought, with this, I can kick everybody's ass in Hilo. And then, you know, I just really got into it. I never knew I was flexible. I never knew I was strong. But you know what? My dad is really, really strong. He can do all kinds of like strongman feats, and he's just a little guy. And
they're monsters, man.
I think I kind of, you know, I think it got passed on maybe the strength and that saying, because we both know, think past the pain. Think past the pain. You're walking, you stub your toe. Oh, think past the pain, son. Come on, keep walking, keep walking. And that's the story of our lives.
Yep.
You know, I wanted to even write a book now that my father's gone, and just here we are now, this many years removed, and I always think about that in my head. Think past the pain.
You should.
You know, that really is important to me, those words. You know,
you should write the book.
No matter what happens.
You should write the book while you're preparing to run again.
You know what? I'm gonna run again now that I see that now. Yeah. And you know what? You were talking about the different things, and I should have mentioned, and I wish I got to mention earlier, that we have had the Penn Hawaii Youth Foundation for almost 15 years now, going around helping the kids, and that was good to have in my back pocket actually when I came out for this thing, because it's not like everybody's like, "Oh, you're just showing up to the party, this and that." No, I've been taking care of the kids for 15 years. Look, and this is what I'm going to do, whether I'm governor or not, because this is just what we do. You know?
That's the
kind of thing. So I did want to get that
named after you, right? That's the UFC gym named after you.
Yes.
The largest and most successful in Hawaii, correct?
Yeah, and we got 4 UFC gyms in. Wow. Thank you very much. We got 4 of them in Oahu, and we're opening up one more in Hilo now.
Wow.
We acquired the bowling alley, and we're putting it a nice gym in there and some different things. So we've been busy, and
Scott,
that's kind of the family business type stuff.
You can go bowl in Hawaii now, Scott.
Oh, yeah,
Scott the engineer, he loves to bowl.
Keep some lanes in there. Don't take them all out. Just
I know they already pulled them out. I wish
Ah.
they left 2 in though. Yeah, I wish they left 2 in because that would fit right into a
of
gym.
course,
right?
of
2
course.
lanes on
You
the
got to
side.
bowl, man. You gotta
I
bowl.
know, I know. But and those wood, those little, the bowling, the alley.
Yeah.
Those things are heavy, man.
1-inch planks.
Those slick woods.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, those are solid.
What are
They're
they? What are they? Scott?
man, they're,
Well,
they're
the 1-inch planks of wood, stretched across. There's like 39 of them.
Oh, okay.
Across the lanes. So I mean,
Oh, they're heavy as
there's more
hell.
than that, but they're heavy. I mean, the real wood, even the synthetic ones, are amazing. I mean, imagine bowling balls crashing down on. I mean, they're so strong. They don't.
Yeah, imagine a bowling ball
Right?
crashing on plywood.
Eh,
right.
right?
oh.
Yeah. It makes sense why they can handle that abuse now, because I never knew they were that strong and heavy, because they were using it, some of them here and there, for construction and different things, and those things are really, really strong and really heavy.
See, that's so cool. So you're
Really.
you're doing all this for the youth. You're doing all this, for people to do. You're looking to the juvenile system to get people the hell out of there. The jail system that we both know is just a waste of time, complete waste of time.
Man.
There's no rehabilitation in there. You got to run again.
Man,
You don't have a choice.
man, there's
anymore.
just
I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
I mean,
Ken, you
it's-
don't have a choice.
it,
I'm just
it's
joking, man. We're
it's,
just
you
having fun.
and even with the public schools, I mean, like they say that you're gonna just have to start realizing that that's government school, and that's why while all this was going on, it was like you can only do so much there. You might as well start already getting all the charter schools and start making a Hawaii state public school system with a real curriculum, where they teach you these things. They teach you about the Constitution. They teach you all the laws, a real financial education, a real self-sustainability, since we're out here in Hawaii. Because what we're dealing with in Hawaii is they want to go on the mountains. They want to kill. They want to get rid of all the pigs. They want to get rid of all the wild cows. They want to get rid of all the fish. They want everything to come in on the boat. That's what they want. They want everything to come in on the boat. And we have that, you know what the Jones Act is, where if it comes from another country, it cannot come to Hawaii. It has to go to America first, and then it has to turn back and come.
Jeez.
So it's that much more expensive. Alaska's the same. Whoever these Jones Act guys are very powerful, and it's something, it's a real strong thing with the union. I mean, that's because it's one of those things where you could say, just build the pier a lot bigger, and start bringing in the international boats to us, and the union will be looking at me, and I'm like, and you guys can just unload all the boats. You guys can just unload all the boats. We won't let any international people step on our dock. You guys unload it all. It'll be bigger, better for everybody. But they're gonna look at me and say, BJ, don't fix what ain't broke.
What are they?
Because that's what holds their power.
Are they crazy? Are they crazy? You could take you would have import right there. You could go to the jails, and if they have good behavior, give the guy work release, let them go unload the boats on work release from prison. Get a little air, some trust.
Yeah.
Shit, it would change the whole economy out there. What do you guys export? What's in Hawaii that you could export, or what do you export?
Just like whatever fruits, I guess. But no, the planes come full and they leave empty. The planes come full and they leave empty. That's why everybody's moving away, and that's what this is about. We don't export anything.
Well, Hawaii,
we have all this
Hawaii's got to
land.
have this great. Hawaii's this great island.
The
all
best
the land.
fruit.
How could you not have anything to export to other states and
Coffee.
countries?
They don't want to grow all the.
Coffee.
They don't want to grow all the food over here.
BJ, don't you got a lot of coffee?
They got Kona coffee. They got different things, but I mean, that's great. But they don't want to. Right now, from where my house is in Hilo, we got Wailuku River, the biggest river, and we only got streams in Hawaii. We don't have rivers. Rivers are like Mississippi, but we got a huge river over here, and 50 miles of the most unbelievable land that you could put so much food on. Back in King Kamehameha's day, they didn't know that that 90% of the people would be living in Honolulu. And if Honolulu can't hold what it needs, the food and everything for what it would need for all those people, but the Big Island is right here and it can hold everything. We could be the refrigerator for the state. We want to be, when the whole world shuts down, we're fine. Because that's how the Hawaiians were. That's how the Native Hawaiians were. But they can't let that happen because they need the boats to come in. Then the unions do this with all this other different stuff, you know. And but let me not bash the union because, you know, I'm happy when my friend gets a union job. I know he's set. I know he's fine. I know he's taken care of. You know, he's gonna live well and he's okay. So, you know, it's this shit is deep, you know, and it's just
what I'm getting from you is that, yeah, you know, you're happy for your friend who'll live well, but you want better. You want better. You want to get the most out of Hawaii that you can, right? And if that's not what you're like running for, then, you know, why do you run?
We need to be self-sustainable.
Yeah.
We need, everybody tells me, why can the military do whatever they want? Why can the military do whatever they want? They got a base up here bigger than the island of Kauai. They leak all the gas in from Pearl Harbor, from Red Hill. Why can they do whatever they want? You know why? Because our economy is shit. That's why they can do whatever we want. We have no negotiating power. We have no money. We have to take the money. And that's you know, just all the way down the line. We need to build up our economy. Why don't we have casino boats? Say we don't want casinos on the land. We don't want casinos on the land. We're Native Hawaiians. We don't want a strip. But why don't we all have casino boats? Why isn't there 3 right here in Hilo, 3 right here in Kona, 3 right here in Waikoloa, 3 on Maui, in Lahaina, Kii, all over, 50 in Waikiki? Because
do you know how many?
We're too powerful.
Do you know how many jobs that would create? Do you know how much tourism that would create? And do you know that alone, that idea alone, you could buy Hawaii probably in a year from the casinos. The reason why the casinos look the way that they do is because they make a shit ton of money. You know?
Yeah, right.
Fuck it. You don't want it on the island? Put it on the boat. You put it back into the state.
Yeah.
You know, you get the refugees. You know, you take care of the homeless. You get the mental health under control, and you could probably do all that with the casinos alone.
The casinos alone, the hemp, the different things. I mean, they could do everything, but
it's like science.
We know why, but
it's like science, BJ. They know shit's different. They know that technology has changed, but whoever wrote whatever 20 years ago, 10 years ago, they don't want to change it. They wrote it. And then the people that do know what's really going on with the technology that we have now, they don't want to go against the grain and be the jerk off scientist that says, well, hey, I know you were like king for, 30 years of what you wrote, but everything you wrote's wrong and I can prove it and here it is. But no, I don't have any balls. So I'm just going to sit there and not tell anybody, or 1 or 2 people come out when we know what we thought is completely different, And then they don't teach it in school. They took wood shop out. They even took cooking class out.
And everything's to divide us. I mean, you just go back and look at the history of Hawaii. I mean, they're gonna say 90% of you guys. I'm my mother's half Native Hawaiian, so they'll say 90% of the Hawaiians all died when the Europeans came and made them sick over here.
Is that true?
And then we see, that's what they say. And then we see what happens with coronavirus. And then we have to question what you said. And we know it's to divide all of us. The whole thing, every single plan, their whole goal is to divide everybody. So for the rest of our lives, the Native Hawaiians will be saying, you haoles came over here, made us sick, tried to take over all the land, did all these different things. And I can't just help but think that that's what history and all this stuff is just all about down the line. I mean, and people are going to say I'm crazy, but I mean, you look at the Hawaiian language and you see so many words that fit in with all of those European languages. They're just spelled different. It's almost like spelling was like the Tower of Babel. Like it's almost like that's what confused all of us. But if you just went off on phonics,
give me a couple
you would kind of know that.
Give me a couple examples.
So
I'm really curious about this stuff.
so it's an old word. It's kuhina. The queen, her name is, they would call her kuhina nui ka'ahumanu. Her name is Ka'ahumanu, and she's the kuhina nui. But what's kuhina? If you just keep saying it, the queen, you know, and there's so many words like that, like amor, and aloha. And you get, there's so many there. Makua means father in Hawaiian, but the K and the T is interchangeable. So if you say matua, what word is that? It's mature. Like you see so many words, you know, and so many, you know, it makes me wonder, like, you know, and you don't want to just take what, you know, we know all the other stuff that the universities are doing to us right now, and how they're pushing all these different socialism, they're pushing all this liberalism and all these things, and I just look and I just think, so now you guys are saying that we all came on boats. I mean, I don't have any proof we didn't come on boats, but you guys saying we came on boats from here, this and that, and you guys never found a Polynesian voyaging canoe before, but you guys are saying all this stuff. I mean, you know,
where's the
you know, there's just so much. Yeah, there's just so much. There's just so much different things. I mean, with all the different things in history, but I don't want to get off on that because people are gonna think I'm out of my mind.
Who cares?
No, but I know I do. I think about it, like all the different words, and like Moscow and Mexico. Moscow, Mexico, you know, it just makes you just all the different things.
Because how would they be that similar, right? How would they be that close together?
Just spelled different. They just spelled different. All the words, I think. And then you, like, if the Spanish came through Hawaii and they said amor, or the Portuguese and they were saying amor, and they could feel it from the people know that they were saying aloha. You know, because maybe they didn't say aloha. Maybe they said alo.
Yeah,
you know,
change the wording.
People know, just change the spelling up. And once you see a word and the spelling's all messed up, you're not even going to try to figure out what word that is.
Because, you know, maybe
but
maybe back then, hello was the same as love. So, you know, like,
you know, 1,000,000%. Because when the Portuguese answer the phone, they go alo, and what is that? Aloha. Yeah, hello is love. It's like when you see somebody say aloha, nice to see you, like that means hello, and that's basically the same word.
And Italian.
Aloha, because it's like in Portuguese, it's like amo você também, like I love you too. So amo and alo, you know, it's like that vibration is like, you know,
it's very,
you can see it,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, amor, like
I'm sure Italian is the same.
Yeah, we say amor means love. Amor means love. So like amor, aloha.
So amo.
Yeah, amo.
Yep. Alo. Yep. You see it. Shit. You know it. You know it. It's all the same shit. Before they started writing it on paper, everybody got confused.
And then when you go into ancient history, it gets real crazy when you start going into ancient history. And then you take a look at what they found in the caves and then compare it to now. And then you start to really think about it. Man, you'll go down. I think you've went down it too. You go down a deep rabbit hole. Because, you know, we are, BJ. You know, because it just as a competitor, at no matter what level, you want to figure it out. You know, you want to figure out what it all means. So then you go down that rabbit hole like it's a competition. Like, well, why is this and this and this? And then you're up all fucking night because it's like you're fighting and you're trying to figure the fucking answer.
Right? Like why does Minnesota sound like a Russian word? Huh? Why does that sound like a Russian word?
Yeah, like crazy
Minnesota.
Like that.
I thought that was a Native American word, you know?
And then we'll spend 5 hours trying to figure it the fuck out, right?
But it is, man. It's interesting, man. What we know is not what they tell us, right? Yeah. That's what's great. And everything's division, but you have to question now, like, they say if you go on the Amazon forest, you'll make everybody sick. Yeah, right. These guys live in the fucking mud. These guys live in the mud. These guys don't make you sick. You're nothing compared to their immune system.
Graham Hancock.
It's a lot.
You got to watch Graham Hancock. I have him coming in next month. Yeah, he went to the Amazon forest in Brazil. They were going to cut it down. Thank God they didn't. And he went there. Wow. Him and this guy Randall did all this research for years and years and years with their own money. They found a human fishing 1.4 million years ago. Now, hold on. They had to hold that all that information to themselves. It took them 7 years to build a facility somewhere where the government couldn't mess with them. And when they went through all of that, you know, like the real Tesla, not like Elon's Tesla, the real Tesla, in his writings were everything that's starting to slowly come out that you're hearing, like this UFO shit, simulation stuff, life being around for a long, long, long part of the dinosaur, the reptile. It's real freaky. But now they have data. They have proof. And you can't deny proof. And then, then they call him a nutcase because he did psychedelics. And he said he thinks every president should do psychedelics. He said, I think every president should go on a DMT trip at least 2 or 3 times. And once they do that, then go be president. And I agree with him.
Man, hey, that's it. I see where you're going with that.
Yeah, no they found all kinds of crazy stuff, and they finally could come out with it. It's on Amazon. It's really good.
Hey, you know what? You think of all these crazy stuff, and I mean, I got no proof of anything. This is just what I say. I mean, there's this thing. You ever seen that thing, Galen Windsor talking about the nuclear hoax? And he's eating the plutonium, and he's eating it and drinking it. He's like, look, I can't get it off my hand, but I'll eat it because it's not soluble. This thing you can't even absorb into your body, and all this stuff. You can probably go watch it after this. Galen Windsor, the nuclear hoax. It's kind of a video from like the 60s or 70s, and he's swimming in nuclear waste and all that shit. And but it makes you wonder, you know, if nuclear weapons are fake, and like bioweapons, fake or real? Fake or real? Can they really make a thing like that to make everybody sick, or is that just
illusion?
Like once, almost what I say, like once you realize that there's going to be there's dynamite and there's an explosion, but once you realize that nuclear missiles are fake, you're going to realize that bioweapons are fake. Fake weapons, real fear, you know, and you just can't help but think those kind of things. I mean, come on, if you guys could make a bioweapon, you'd wipe us all out right now already. You'd already take us all. We'd all be gone.
And then you start thinking like simulation. You start talking to some of these like, you know, really high-end space guys, and then they talk simulation and dimensions and this and that. And, you know, you're sitting with them, BJ, and you're like, okay. And then you add it up and it starts to make a lot of sense. And then you try to talk to somebody about it. And then, you're doing too many podcasts. You're nuts. You're this, you're that. The guy's got 50 years of research. What do you mean I'm nuts? I'm not saying, you know how it is. You know, you try to talk to somebody about something that may not.
And what about that baby thing that they're doing now, right? They're making the babies in the thing.
Yeah, they can make.
That looks like Matrix. Is like, are they trying to mess with us? They trying to insult us?
So
are they trying to insult us?
So Dr. Robert Epstein and Dr. David Icke, they both said what you're going to see is the Matrix. And I never really watched the movie The Matrix like that. I watched it just for the action. I still haven't had a chance to watch it, but they said what's coming is the Matrix. Period. I don't know, man.
Interesting. Yeah.
I mean, it takes a minute because you really got to think about it.
And it all happened so fast. Hey, life was perfect in 1980. That was the height of civilization. Then it just all bang, 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 bang. Next thing we know, we're in the Matrix now. You know?
And then it
happened quick.
And then you have to think about it, right? So think in 1920, right? Think 1923, 2023, the difference. Imagine if we had 100,000 years. And they believe, and Graham and those others have proof that civilizations have been here 100,000 years. If we've gone this far in 100 years, imagine just 10,000 years. I mean, who knows?
Man, that's what I mean. I mean, it really is crazy. And without sounding too crazy, I mean, are these people aliens, or is there just another place that only their airplanes can get to and our airplanes can't get to, another continent or whatever? I mean, you never know we don't know anything.
Everybody's going to think I'm crazy. I think this is a simulation, and I think you have a calling. And I think and this is just based on everyone that I've had the honor and opportunity to talk to that study this stuff, I think this is a simulation. And I think that once you start to listen to your instinct and you follow your calling, it doesn't mean do this or do that. When you start following your instinct and your calling and love, then you move to the next level. And then the next level would be like, say, hierarchy 2. And then at hierarchy 2, you're out of this bullshit simulation and you're trying to get others that are in the simulation out with you. And then when you get enough out, you go to hierarchy 3, where there is no time. Time doesn't exist. We made time. There is no beginning, no end. We're all spirits. And to me, that makes sense what a God would be, that we're all God. At some point, sometime, we're all God and we're all spirits. And that's just a short conclusion to what these super brains had come up with. Kind of, I'm probably saying it completely wrong.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Like, I understand when you talk about, I always think when you talk about, like you just brought up that we're all God stuff, I always think in the, like, they got that story, the guy passes away, he's at the pearly gates, an old boring man walks up, says, I'm God, come with me, you'll be safe. And at that same moment, the devil comes, dressed nice with his hair slicked back, with a bunch of women, alcohol, drugs. He's like, come with me, we'll have a good time. And he looks at both of them and he's like, I'm on the fence. As soon as he says that, he ends up with the devil, and the devil looks at him and says, I own the fence. And wasn't it like that in our whole careers? You could only create or destroy. You can't sit in the middle. You can't just maintain. You're either going to get better or you're going to get worse. You're either going to create something or you're either going to go backwards. Right? Isn't that how it always was? And in that sense, you think, we're made in God's image. We can use God's powers, and we just have to keep creating, because once we stop, it's that idle hands is the devil's workshop. And once you're not creating, I mean, like that story says, the devil owns the fence. Once you sit on the fence, you're already going backwards. We can't just be like, oh no, I'll just maintain this shape that I'm in. No, you got to keep trying to get better, because if not, you're going to go backwards. You cannot stay in the middle. He owns the middle.
And you know where
and I always think,
where that makes sense to me is because in these theories that you'll live until you follow your calling and do what you're supposed to do. You live the exact same life over and over. Same parents, same situation, same, grid. Does BJ go be a fighter? Do you do this? Do you do that? Which choices do you make throughout life? And you live it the exact same over and over and over. And maybe that devil part is the devil saying, hey, you're coming with me back into this shithole simulation bullshit again. You're living in it again, pal. You're not going to the fun place. I don't...
Right. But the devil helps God in some ways, because he scares you to God, but then he kind of he can take you out too.
And what's the whole principle of all of it? Fear. If there's no fear, there's nothing. And they're trying to take all the fear away, where here.
Yep. No fear and there's nothing. Yep. That's what it is, man. Fear, division, What do you think about the state of where everything is right now in America? Where are we at?
I think we're headed. I think it's just. I think we're headed downhill. I think China is going to make a move on Taiwan. I think. It's so tough because I've had so many people in that are like deep in this stuff and within. So I had thought for sure China would make their move on Taiwan right around 2024, because you got Biden in there. He's got pressure. He sanctions China. China says, oh, okay. This is the only opportunity we're going to get to easily just take Taiwan. They cut us off from any type of trade. and you know as well as I know, China has patience. They don't care. They want to be world leaders. If that means they have to suffer for the next 300 years, they don't care. But they would be world leaders. They cut us off. Look at our economy now, just from the chips and the phones and whatever. How if they cut us off? Then they take Taiwan, they align with Russia. Imagine China, Russia, Korea, North and South Korea, Serbia, all aligned together. China cuts us off. Then what? We got a real big problem.
Interesting. It's interesting, man.
And I just
if we use if we use the analogy that once you realize nuclear weapons are fake, you realize bioweapons are fake. And then you'd think that somebody like Putin would have to know that. So if bioweapons are fake, why is Putin in Ukraine? You know, I mean, makes you wonder what the hell is going on here, man.
I don't know.
It just so happened out of the blue. We don't know for sure, but if bioweapons are fake, and you know how everybody kept saying, oh, they haven't targeted coronavirus. They haven't, was the nasal up the nose? Is that what was taking everybody's smell and their taste or whatever? Or was it the 5G? I mean, I don't know. But, makes you wonder. I mean, because you got to really wonder, are the bioweapons real? Is it? You think, what do you think? You think they can make that shit and it can make us sick? We really don't know, right?
Yeah.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I don't know anything anymore, man. I thought I knew.
Me too.
And then, like I said, I had my own opinion before, and then I got into this podcast shit, and then our boy Tony has helped me out so much and got me unbelievably intelligent people, and now I really don't know. And then I, how can you go against what some of these guys say? But then when you think about it, you go and you say, like what you're saying right now makes sense, right? But that would make, but to the average person, they would say, you two are just absolutely nuts. But then when it's almost like confirmed from the best of the best in the world, then you say, well, me and BJ think this. Maybe we got hit in the head a few times, but they didn't get hit in the head a few times, and they're saying it in so many words. I don't know. That is
right. And you hear so many different things. Like we've heard that they've never isolated it. It doesn't exist. But we know people like I've lost my taste and smell for a year now. You know what I mean? And yeah, I've lost it for a year, but I don't. What about the nose swab?
The spray.
I don't know. I mean, it's at this point, just get as crazy as you want with your imagination. It's just like we don't know anything going on.
So what you got to do, BJ, is you got to run again, and then you got to be president, and then invite me to dinner and slip me the classified documents and let me know what's going on. All right, just me. The stage between me and you. I'll cut this out. Just slip me a little bit of shit so I have the answer.
Yeah, I'll slip you the paper. You open up the paper to say it's all bullshit.
And I'll be like, and they called us crazy, right? And they called us crazy.
Yeah, I really think there's so many things are out there just to divide us. The election, why steal it in front of everybody's face? To make, how many best friends fought? How many family members said, I'll never fucking talk to you again after this whole thing? When Trump won and they had that lady on the ground saying, no, it's almost like they knew that that's what they needed to get this riots going. And I mean, these people are good. And like you said, is it a simulation? I mean, how do these people have this hive mind? But maybe it's not a hive mind simulation. Maybe it's just from watching TikTok and Instagram. They have that hive mind. I mean, because I tell my daughter, don't dress like that. Why are you dressing like that? Don't waste my time. I'm going to make you change your clothes. But, she's seeing it all day on TikTok or whatever it is. And is that the hive mind? Things are so much different than when we used to watch G.I. Joe and every day G.I. Joe would kick
I was He-Man in Great American Hero.
Yeah, I remember He-Man. I was just looking at it today, actually. I was like, should I buy somebody the first series? I was thinking about buying my brother the first series at Target right now. But He-Man was the best, man. He-Man was some good stuff.
And then, I wonder, as you say that, and after, like I said, a lot of conversations, I wonder if a lot of civilizations got out of here in time before something hit, went to the Milky Way, and they're coming back and seeing what's going on this planet. And they're seeing that maybe the way that they evolved is different. Like we went this dumb technology route that sucks, you know, that everybody's on their phone and everything else, where they were able to build pyramids with 70-ton rocks within 1 degree of the North Pole. How do you do that now? We can't do that now. How do you do that?
Yeah.
You know?
But what if I told you that pyramids were built with cement? No. I mean, this is how crazy this world is just out of control.
Out of control.
That's what it is.
So I'll ask you a question that I know that we have an answer to, but I don't know. So I started getting, you know, I boxed, and then UFC at first was, and MA, I just thought, holy shit, this is really brutal. But then when it was explained to me, actually boxing is more brutal, right? Because when that glove slips, I mean, that really fucks you up. But I always thought like when you put somebody to sleep, it's a bad thing. And then Baz was telling me, no, it doesn't even hurt anybody at all. So, and then you got your purple belt from Gracie, right? Congratulations. Now,
thank you.
Now, what does a purple belt mean? What does that mean?
A purple belt, I would say it means you're pretty serious. You take off, if you're a really, really good purple belt, you take off that gi and you go with another, and you could just go with black belts. If your mental fortitude, a purple belt isn't very far away from a black belt. But it's like white close to blue, blue close to purple, purple close to brown, brown close to black, but white's not close to black. But it is different for a boxer or an Olympic wrestler. They don't know what any of that stuff means. You don't know who you're in the ring with. You know, you're just gonna get knocked out.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said I don't know anymore. I don't know anything
just
anymore.
Weed them out. But that's what I love about boxing. Let's just weed them out. Oh, your first day, you want to try? Okay, get in there with him. Why are you putting him there with him? Because we don't have time to waste. Let's see what he can do.
Just say,
you know. So that's what I love about what we do, and then about
the black belt,
going back to that.
Like,
yeah, okay.
Just
so
tell me, like, what do you? So, first, who? How do you get to the level where you're established enough or good enough where BJ Penn can give a black belt to Scott the engineer? Like, how do you get to that level? And then what work do I have to put in, or what do I have to achieve where I deserve to get that black belt? Because like I don't understand because in boxing it's like you beat this guy, you beat that guy, you get to the next level. So
you know what? I was thinking about that today, or the other day, and you know what it is? It's a black belt for him. Like, see, this black belt isn't going to be like this world champion kid black belt over here, but that's the black belt version of him. But by saying that is the black belt is not the end. This is the beginning, because you're a white belt black belt now. There's probably now maybe I'm a purple belt black belt, but I ain't a black belt because that's much further on down the road. And I believe, and as you get older, where I'm starting to get older, and I believe simplicity is the greatest form of sophistication. So when you do show something and you do teach it, it has to be as simple as it can fucking be when you teach it to somebody. You can't sit there and try to act like you're saying a scientific formula. You do it as easy and as simple as okay, stand here now. Keep this hand up and jab. Keep this hand up and jab. You need some. You can't. And I'll take that to the grave. That as simple as you can make it. That's how smart you are. Nobody is smarter than the most simple man over there, and that's just. That's just always.
So, like, do you get a belt by wins or by kicking or hitting correctly? Like, so if I get into jiu-jitsu or whatever it may be, and my goal is to get a purple belt, what do I have to do to get that purple belt? Do I have to win so many matches? What do I have to do to get the purple belt?
I would say if you're one of our competition guys, and I can see it, you're a young, hungry kid with a lot of energy, you're gonna have to win some matches. You're gonna have to do stuff. But if there's just a father who comes in and he's doing stuff, as long as he sticks around, and believe me, he will go through his battles in the gym. He will go through his battles. You know, that father will go through his battles. Maybe he will compete a couple times. Maybe he does good. Maybe he surprises us. Maybe he gets his butt kicked. But either way, you know, either way, he's gonna go through all his battles. That's the one thing that I do like about jiu-jitsu. But I do understand, because there's a lot of, you know, wrestlers or anything like, oh, what belter and this and that, because it's so foreign to what we do. You know, I mean, what we've, as far as boxing, and you know what I mean, like what's the point? I mean, you know, yeah, it is.
I get so confused because I see you. You know, I watched everything. And man, you're a fucking animal at every weight class. A fucking animal, straight up, dude. Straight fucking animal. And I'm not saying that just because you're on Zoom. You can't reach across if I said you were bad right now anyway. Nah, but you're an animal.
Yeah.
And I try to I still don't, you know, I'm getting into it because I'm looking at the points now. I'm watching how points are scored. See, I didn't know. Tony called me all about that.
Gotcha.
But I still don't understand, like, if I'm 19 and I want to be BJ Penn, I'm 19 years old. BJ Penn's winning in multiple weight classes. He's just a killer. And the first step is whatever belt and then another belt. Now, before I was boxing, so now I'm in this and there's this belt thing. And I'm like,
yeah.
Like, coach, what do I need to do to get a belt? So I could do, you know, try for golden gloves and show off my belts.
And you know what? That's the thing about about life and a lot of things. Like, I remember these two great UFC fighters. They were sparring with each other, and one of them hit him with the liver and dropped them. These are big names now. I don't even want to say the names. And then the guy's family runs up and goes, "Oh, it's okay. You're still the best." And then the other one looks at him and goes, "Yeah, well, what does that make me?" He's still the best. You know, what does that make me? Yeah. So, you know, all of those things play along the line. And I'll tell you, you get a purple belt, you don't want to get tapped up by a blue belt or a white belt anymore. So now that's on you after that point. If you're a tough kid, you want to, like, where's the pressure in the belt system? Let me try to figure this out. The pressure is, there was another blue belt that was almost even with you. Every time you guys went at it, he almost was right there getting you too. Or maybe he got you a few times when you guys are both blue belts. Now you're purple belt. So don't fucking lose. So don't fucking lose to this guy when you go. So that can bring the freaking back in, right? And especially when you're black belt. You're not going to go in and then all these guys messing with you. You got to be able to hold your own. But then again, if he's an older black belt, just a guy of a father, it depends what we're talking about, you know? It really depends. Is he just a guy at the gym punching the bags, right? You know, that guy ain't you. Same kind of thing. If we could try to put it all together. Well, he's not as serious or whatever. He's not as serious. But you see the guy work out for 10, 15 years. You're like, that is the black belt. Look how much better he got. 15 years. He's been doing this. He knows what he's doing. He knows the rules, you know? And that's, I guess, because it's embarrassing and it's nerve-wracking because you don't want to get tapped out by a lower belt. You know what I mean?
And
right? You see it.
Yeah, I see it. And isn't jiu-jitsu and MMA and all this stuff, it seems to me like it's more spiritual than like boxing. Like boxing, either you win or you lose. Whereas, like you were saying, if a 50-year-old man, he's been dedicated for 20 years, showing up to class, helping out each other, getting good enough, he gets a black belt. Like, almost in a spirit way, like maybe he's not a pro or whatever it may be, but he worked and worked and worked, and then he deserved the black belt because of the drive.
Yes.
Do I have it right? Am I understanding?
Yes. And he should be decent though. He should be able to.
Yeah, not.
You
like
know what
schmuck.
I mean? Yeah. He better be able to kick every 50-year-old's ass around him though. You know what I mean? But then he can't mess around. He can't mess with the 20-year-old kid.
Yeah, no.
You know?
Well, you'll be paying hospital bills. You have to sell it at the gym for the hospital bill. Now, when
but jiu-jitsu? Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say jiu-jitsu. It is good for those kind of people that can do that because we know sparring, that's a real fight right there, man. That sparring's a fight right there, you know, especially you don't know the guy. You guys are fighting, you know, so and you're gonna go home with bruises, you're gonna go home with you know, maybe a bruised rib, whatever it is. But that is one of the things that jiu-jitsu brought to the table, that you wouldn't get beat up, you know, like that. You could work hard like you're in a real fight for your life, but you wouldn't have bruises and stuff. And it still was, I don't want to bash any other martial art, but it was more competitive than Aikido, say. Judo is fucking tough too, though. Don't get me wrong. Judo's right there. Anything in the Olympics, I mean, you're talking about fights, right? So all the other martial arts that, like, where we could say like the McDojo or whatever, like they just give away belts and stuff like that. It was a lot more real than all of that, because you could really defend yourself, and you didn't really get your face busted up to go to work the next day. No, because when you're a boxer, you're a boxer. You're not a worker and a boxer, you know. Boxing is some serious shit. And I don't know, I don't know if you know my one of my coaches for years, Jason Perillo, half Irish, half Italian. Wonderful guy. Maybe you should go look into this thing.
Yeah,
he keeps making champions, and he actually started with me, so it's amazing to watch him, because you know it's hard to be a fighter and pay your bills, period, and get that all going. And he's actually a coach that can pay his bills doing it. So you know, I'm really proud of him, and you know, I think you'd have a great time talking to that guy. He's fun, but you know, I see he was a boxer, and hey, boxing is, there's nothing more important than a fist fight when you're in a fist fight. Nothing in the whole world is more important. While you're in a fist fight, there's nothing else to think about but that. That's like the most important thing in the whole world.
You got blinders on. You know how it is. And with boxing and just fists, you got blinders. Nothing around. You can't hear, see anything around you. When I would get hit, I almost would like to get one real good hit, because then that got me in the mood where I didn't hear anything. It was just target. Just one target only. Nothing else around me. You know. Yeah. And then I fucked that up.
You know about fighting.
Yeah.
You know about fighting. You know about fighting, man. And that's why it's great.
You change weight classes like you did. How did you do that? How did you change such weight classes?
You know what? I just didn't care. I think I was on you know what? I never, my career ended so abrupt and so, I never did performance enhancing drugs. And you know what? I thought to myself, I was like, when I was fighting and this and that, I was like, maybe I'll get a job as a senator or something, and you know, and then just have a job. And I never thought about saving the people or helping the people. But after I got into this whole governor thing, and I saw my journey and I saw my steps going, I said, hey, maybe that's the same reason why I never used performance enhancing drugs. Actually, maybe because I just was a stickler for the rules, and that's what I, you know, I actually wonder about that myself. It's like I never thought I would be on this journey trying to help. I had Penn Hawaii Youth Foundation. I love the kids. It's easy to take care of the kids from your own hometown in your head, you know. But as far as going everywhere and like really trying to educate people and teach people, I never thought this would ever be any kind of journey for mine. I would think I'd just be the senator, just doing what you're supposed to. I never knew how dirty this shit was, but I just thought, you know, I'll just take a paycheck and be the senator and be a senator or something, and maybe get a job. I thought about that a while back, but when my journey started on this whole thing, and it all started because, you know, a friend of mine who was a congressman, he was pushing for the bill that you'd have to get the vaccine to get on the plane to go to leave the state, go to another island, everything. And so I called him and said, hey man, why are you pushing this bill? Because we always would, you know, give him money, support him, whatever he wanted. We're all friends. We grew up together. And I said, why are you pushing this bill? What's going to happen if this bill passes? And he goes, you're just going to have to listen. Huh. And those words right there, you're just going to have to listen. That's why I ran. That's everything. No, you're just going to have to listen to me tell everybody about you on the internet. You're just going to have to, and that's how I even got on this whole journey, because you're supposed to listen to us. What are you talking about? These people are our representatives. These people work for us. In no other job can you walk away when the employer walks up to you and asks you a question. You can't walk away, but these politicians walk away all the time. We are the employer, and that's why I was saying I knew it was a tough job. I knew I was so gung-ho and so hyped up about it. I said, I'll do it for free, and I'll do it for one time. And I wanted to do it for one time because I'm going to do it for free, and I just wanted to show them. But at the same time, I knew what would happen the second time. They're going to try to make you make a vaccine, shut the whole place down, all this shit. They're going to set you up where you're going to have to do something to freaking get back in. And they're going to, I knew already. So we just come in the first time. And then probably me saying that pissed them off more. They made sure I couldn't get in the first time because I wasn't going to wait around to see what plans they have for the second time. I was going to walk away and say, now does everybody know what the fuck is going on around here? Because I wasn't there for the office. I was there for the people, and I was there for the freedom. I'm a kid from Hawaii. I have my native Hawaiian background, and we're strong into that. We're strong into always anything we can fight for the Hawaiians. But my father, being from Illinois, always taught me about the Constitution. He was in the Navy, so he always taught me about, the kids who paid the ultimate sacrifice. They gave their life. They cannot do what you're doing right now, BJ. They can't hang out. And he was the one who always drilled that into me. I knew it. I had it inside. I'd never talk about it. But as soon as this whole thing went, and then my dad kind of passed away a year now, last December.
Sorry to hear that.
No, that's all right. Actually, you know what? When he got checked into the hospital, he went in for like a surgery, like he had to do stitches, and he had Parkinson's, so he had to do stitches and stuff. But he tested for coronavirus when he went in. So the next day after the stitches, something, I don't know what happened. I think he probably just got up and like, I gotta get to my family or something. They probably sedated him. I don't know what happened. We didn't do the autopsy. But I said, well, my brother, we all kind of just talked about it, and we were like, he's passed, and this and that. He had Parkinson's, so it's better. But to get back to the point was that he had coronavirus when he went in, and they said no, his lungs are fine. He's fine. He dies the next day. My mother calls him and says, "What's the official cause of death?" They say, I don't know the official cause of death, but I see right here at coronavirus. If you put it on the death certificate, we'll pay for the whole funeral, $8,000. My mom, half Korean. Hell yeah, we'll do it right now. Put it on. So now we know. Right? A Korean ain't gonna turn that down. A Korean ain't but
believe me, all my ancestors were the first ones to say, "Oh, hey, well, we'll take it."
Hey,
He's dead anyway.
It was an insurance scam. The whole thing was an insurance scam from that side. I mean, why was that never checked on? Why was Fauci even allowed to be in any meetings? He would have been banned from the meetings, and then I'd have you guys go jump him on the side. That's what I do.
Well, remember,
you know what I mean? Like,
remember how much they were getting to code it as COVID. If they coded it as COVID, even as a PCP, I think they got like $3,000, and then if it was the hospital, $8,000, and then if you put somebody on a defibrillator, it was like $15,000, and the defibrillator was the one killing everybody.
Yup. I mean, all that stuff. Yeah, we know it. All that stuff. Man, I know a guy. He said he had COVID, but I think he went in for pneumonia. They had him on the ventilator for a year. He went in. My dad was fine. He came out. My dad was dead. Yeah, he went in. My dad was fine. He came out. My dad was dead. Then he went back in for another year. Then he just came out, and now he's staying at the church because I imagine his bills, how racked up. 2 years he was on the thing. He's got a big hole in his neck, and they got him over at the church. Now he's staying at the church, and he just wants to get dropped off to hang out just because he doesn't want to hang out at that church place. And You know, he waited I went to the mall because I had to grab my daughter, and he waited outside. So I came outside with an orange bag. I give him an orange bag. I go, here, taste this. It's a fresh orange juice. So he's drinking it. But it's been 2 years.
He's probably drinking that faster than shit. He's probably drinking that like when we were kids and got Colt 45s real quick and we're in the back of the car and suck them down. He probably drank that orange juice in 2 seconds. He probably could have beat us back in the day when the what was the thing called? You put the hose in with the beer and then try to suck it down.
Yeah. The beer bong.
Yeah, the beer bong.
Oh, man.
Shit.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
See, even more of a reason for you to run again. You got to.
Right? You know what? I'm gonna put my name for mayor.
Do it.
Oh, hey, it's good. If I ever get in, I'm gonna my announcer speech. You guys are the dumbest mother effers ever to let me in here. No, but it.
No, but you
because they know that I know. They know. They know that I know. Just from fighting, I mean, everybody can go. So they're trying to build this 30-meter telescope up on the mountain, and it could, all kinds of stuff could happen. Where up on Mauna Kea, it's got the largest reservoir under. I mean, gas leak, anything could happen. It all goes down eventually. It's all going to hit the water source. And it's like a tumor on the brain. The Mauna Kea is the biggest mountain in the world from under sea level, and they're trying to put this thing up. And all the native Hawaiians are coming from a sentimental side, and they're all talking to them and back and forth. And I'm sitting there and I'm like. And I just from being in fights my whole life, I'm just like, I walk up there and I go, I'm going to end the corruption in the Department of Land and Natural Resources. I'm going to end the corruption in the Department of Hawaiian Homes, because the Department of Hawaiian Homes owns everything. They own the whole Hawaii, mostly of the whole Hawaii, but they're trying to keep that land. The state's trying to take that land. So they put their people on the top to control it. Wow. So the Department of Hawaiian Homes. I'm going to end the corruption in the Department of Land and Natural Resources. I'm going to end the corruption in the Department of Hawaiian Homes. And I'm going to end the corruption in the Hawaii State Supreme Court. And then I'm going to end you, TMT, because I know immediately just from being a fighter, what's this going to come down to? It's going to come down to a court case that we need to put the right people in these two places, and we need to fight them until we remove as many of these fake judges that we have in here until we can win the court case and get these fucking guys out of here. China owns the thing. You ask me, I think it's a weapon. I don't know, it's a laser. Is it to shoot something? I don't know. But I'm like, everything. You want to take a real good look at space? Put the fucking thing on the fucking, on the what is up there? The space station? Put it up there. I bet you can see even better. Bet you can see better than over here. You know, they want jurisdiction. They want jurisdiction of the mountain.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you put it up on the fucking moon? Why wouldn't you put it on the moon? I know it's great in Chile, but if it's great in Chile, I would assume that it's got to be 1,000,000 times better on the moon. Right? I mean, it's not.
Why are we looking up there? Why are we looking up there with all these problems right here? Why the fuck? Keep our eye on the ball, or we're gonna fucking look up there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're printing 10 trillion a day, right? And how much is gas out there in Hawaii right now? How much is like 97?
It's about 5. It's about 5 though. Oh, it's about 5 right now.
What about like a gallon?
But what you guys are California?
About the sound.
Gallon of milk. That's the expensive stuff. That's the expensive stuff.
What's a gallon of
milk? That's that. Or $100 you get groceries. A bag of groceries this big for $100 fucking bucks. You
might get too bad.
Everything comes in on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything comes in on the boat, and that's how they want it. And they control the unions, and they all work together, and they try to pull in. You know, they got all those unions, and it's a blue state. And you know, you want to say, BJ, I tell everybody, I say, you know, when the corruption starts is when they go to build the affordable housing. When they go to do all of these things. You want to see corruption, let's just go down the road to the next roadwork, to the next where it says roadwork stop. Then they're building a bridge or whatever. That's where all this shit is. That's where once they enact their plan that they have to help with, you know, affordable houses. Affordable for who? For who is it affordable for? I mean, everything is just one of those words. It's just a key word, and it's just, you know, and when you go to build those affordable houses, that's where the corruption starts. That's where all the stealing is going to take place. And you know, we just know it, and
now you went
they're
back.
just they just want to keep grabbing that money from Washington, and they want to keep pulling it. And like I said, you know, the richest people own the businesses, and they vote the Democrats in to freaking bring that federal money in. And we know it's not a movement of the downtrodden. It's a movement of the richest guys here, the strongest lobbyists. That's what it's a movement of.
In Hawaii,
you know, if you wanted to monopolize, everything, that's how you do it. That's how you monopolize everything, quick.
In Hawaii,
you know,
when did you first start to see the corruption? When did you start to first really see it?
You know what? My dad would always talk about it. He would always just say, "We're so anti-business. They're communist here," and I, you know what? I never.
Or when did your father say it? When did your father first say it?
Oh, my whole life.
Yeah.
My whole life.
Wow.
My whole life, I knew you cannot get a permit. The permits take a year and a half. What? But why would a permit take a year and a half to come back? You ask me. So you can pay the motherfucker off. Why else would it take a year and a half for the fucking permit to come? Wow. Why else?
See, come on. Yeah. I mean, it's so simple, but you don't you don't think like that because you're like, no, but it really is. Damn. A year and a half?
Funny, man. It is funny.
What the
It's
fuck?
funny.
Shit. Can you believe that? I mean, I'm sorry I'm stuck on that, but you know, it's just crazy. It's absolute craziness. What's crazier? What's crazier? This shit or UFC changing 5 different weight classes, you know, being in different countries, you know, Dana White giving you all kinds of credit, you know, Frankie Roach, for Christ's sake, saying you're the best boxer in MMA he's ever seen. Fucking Roach, BJ? Jesus.
Man, you know what?
Freddie Roach.
What a
Frankie
wonderful
Roach. BJ. Freddie Roach.
Yeah, Freddie Roach.
Fuck, not Frankie, Freddie.
No,
jeez.
Yeah, you know what? I realized after running for this thing that this politics stuff is so huge. It's 1,000 times bigger than MMA because everybody's involved now. Not just fighters, not just people, fans of the sport. Every single person. The person lying on the side of the street could give you advice about what needs to be done over here. I mean, this stuff is so big, and that's why I said I was 1,000 times bigger than I ever was in Hawaii running for office. And I turned over every stone. You know, us fighters turn over every stone when you're in. I love words, right? So when you're enthused, the Theos is God, and you're like with God. And so when you're enthused, you're walking hand in hand with God. And that's, I was so enthusiastic about this thing, man. And that's why I turned over every stone. You know, like, it doesn't matter. We did everything we were supposed to do, and we showed up to the fight, and that's the way the cards fell. That's the way the cards fell. That's it. You know us. Okay, that's it. That's done. But as I'm happy. I'm happy I educated myself and found out that the whole thing's like WWF. How do you feel when you found out WWF and Hulk Hogan was fake? The same way, you know what I mean? But I'm happy. I don't have no regrets. I don't have anything. You know why? Because I did it. I did the damn thing. I put in an effort. I put in a real effort out there.
But now when you run again, you know. Now when you run again, now you know. So now you approach it differently.
Now I know.
And now you win.
Yeah. And now we come. You know,
now you knock out.
Because now we can come from a different angle.
That's it. Just like they do. Just like they do. Just like they come at different angles, you come at a different angle because you know what you know now. You know.
Yeah.
You know the
and a champion adjusts. And you're right too. Two things: a champion adjusts, and a champion wants one more round. He doesn't fucking know he's losing. He wants one more fucking round. He don't know he's losing.
But now you know what. Now you know how. Wants. Now you know how all this BS works and this fake this and fake that.
Yeah.
So now you strategize how you're going to beat them at their own game, and you could do it. You did 5 weight classes, man. You're the only person who ever did that. Look at all the shit you did. I mean, we can sit here and go through everything you did, like every other guy that interviews you. But you know that's great and achievable. But I personally want to know about BJ Penn and how he thinks.
Man. Hey, as soon as you get out, they try to pull you back in.
You ain't lying.
Hey, you know what? you know what? You're definitely motivating me and inspiring me right now with these words. And a lot of people have been saying it, and I just, now it's the plan of attack. No, that's what it is. I was gonna go run for the Republican, the head of the Republican Party over here, because it is a real election. It's not through the office of elections. It's an in-house election, and I was gonna be like, "Fuck you! Show me the votes. Show me the fucking votes right fucking
every
now."
one of them,
right? Because the Republican Party over here, they're the guys. Like I said, they're just an arm for the Democrat Party. They both need each other. Just a few rich guys over here, and then all these guys bringing the federal money. You know what I mean? So they all work together. But if that would be a very powerful position to go run, take over the Republican Party, pull that out of their power, pull that out of the Democrats' power, and then have a real Republican Party. Nobody campaigned after the primary because the election was done after they got me out. The election was done. And they could, you know why they only gave me 12,000 votes before they pulled it? Because they couldn't give anybody any fucking hope. They cannot give us hope, because once we see that hope, we're like a fucking rabid dog ready to kill these people. And I mean, not even that's ready to get them. We're ready to win this already. We're rabid dogs. We're ready. You give us 1 inch and we're going to take a mile, and we're going to go, and we're just going to start going and barking and get through there.
That's true.
And that's why they had to do that. They know you know what was trending. I say, I'm going to say it in pidgin English because that's how everybody talks over here. But that's why I know vote. That's why I know vote was trending in Hawaii after that. That's why I don't vote. Exactly like this. Look, wasted all of our time. That's why I don't vote. When I walked into the place to vote down here, the vote in person, everybody walked in. Hey, first time voting for you, BJ. So I'm up there voting. I got my paper ballot, I fill it out. I'm like, okay, what do I do with it now? They're like, here, put it right in here. And I'm like, put it in the machine. And I was like, fuck, I just lost the fucking thing. Just went in the fucking machine. And then I went with my girlfriend. We went to go do fucking hand ballot. I'm over there doing the hand ballot. I'm like, where is she? She's sitting on the computer voting. I'm like, fuck, this is
But you know what? That's going on like in every state, though. Every state. And, even if you're a Biden fan too, even people I've talked to that, they like what Biden's doing, and I respect everybody's opinion. It's a free country. You should be able to believe, vote for whatever you want. But whether you're Republican or Democrat, both sides have that feeling throughout the states. Is there really a point of me even going and vote? I would say 50% overall.
No,
and that's hard.
And they want us, and that's what they want. And that's what they want, because they don't even have to try as hard to steal it. So like you said, just run, so they gotta always try hard to steal it. Fuck them, make them work. At the least, just put your name, so they gotta try it. They gotta do something. Dude, they can never sleep on it.
I want to ask you one more thing. I don't want to take advantage of your time, because I definitely want to have you back. So I don't want to take advantage of you coming on, and we're here for however long. So.
Anytime.
Oh, thank you.
I'll come anytime.
Oh, thank you. Have you noticed around Hawaii that people are noticing what's really going on? Where forget Republican, forget Democrat, where just shit is really bad. Are you noticing that? Or are you noticing more?
I'll tell you what.
I'll take the money. I'll take the money. I'll take.
No, everybody knows what's going on. But I was talking about it today. I go, don't you still notice everybody spending money? Don't you notice nobody's fucking holding money, right? Isn't it amazing? Everybody's spending their money everywhere you go. And it is interesting. Everybody's spending their money for Christmas. Everybody's blowing all their money, whatever they can.
That credit card.
And I don't know if that's just human.
No, it's the credit card, the leftover checks that got paid. But what about when there's no more checks? What about when that credit card's maxed out? Then what? Then people start to lose their house.
That's what I mean. And
then it just fucking.
And what about them keep up printing money? That's the hidden tax. I mean, we could bury $1 million under the ground, go to jail for 20 years, come out and it's worth 100,000, and because they can steal it right out of your pocket. They make more and they're actually stealing it right out of your pocket. from 5,000 miles away.
Even worse.
The hidden,
So
yeah, the hidden
I had on,
tax.
remember this name, Jovan Pulitzer. He is going to be the next Elon Musk. I'm telling you, this guy's, he invented the QR code in 88. Was it 88? Like 20 years before, 20 years before its time. He lost 30 billion because when you do a patent, you have to have like this cup. If you wanted to patent this, BJ Penn, you have to patent the exact, every single fucking thing in this has to be patent. How many pixels, everything. Well, there was like, say 10 things he didn't patent, big company bought it, young kid signed, boom, got crushed. But what I had asked him, I had said, because I thought they brought all those IRS agents in for the Bitcoin before FTX. I thought they were going to come in, go through the Bitcoin because it was getting too high, and they were going to like grandfather in a tax. Before all this stuff, he said, oh, no. Before they even said it on the news, he said, no, they brought the IRS agents because they're going to make you claim every little bit of money you make. Boom. What, 2-3 weeks later, anything over $600 you deposit in the bank, goes to the government. Remember, it used to be 9999. You know, if you would always
now
deposit
600.
600.
Wow.
And that's what all those IRS agents were for.
So you can't even fly on the airplane with over 600 anymore.
I don't know about
that. Because there was always 9999, right? When you fly into the country.
Well,
right?
What I mean is like, so if you have Venmo and you deposit $601 into your bank account, that gets reported to the IRS. Whereas before you would have had to put in 8,000.
10 grand anyway.
It was 10 and 8, and now it's 600. And that's what all those IRS agents were for. How about that shit?
Freaking, right? They're closing that. They're closing that noose.
They're just
closing
it.
And well, what do you think about? I mean, they always said, you know, it's the dollars. I mean, how are we gonna buy anything without them knowing it? We only have the dollar. We don't want it on the credit card. And then now you got this Bitcoin that you can follow every single transaction. You can't hide it, anything. And you not everybody wants to let them know what they spend every dollar on. And are we just forcing ourselves into that digital currency that with that Bitcoin stuff, or do we need all of them? Do we need the dollar? We need gold coins and silver coins, and we need credit cards, and we need every single, and the Bitcoin. We need them all.
I think in my opinion, I think they're gonna take the blockchain, you know, like the blockchain thing. I'm not into that crypto thing. I wouldn't put $1 in it. Even 10 years ago, everybody said, this, that. Who runs it? I don't know. Well, until I know who the hell runs it, I'm not putting. If I don't know who the puppet master is, and when there's billions of dollars around, what are you going to tell me? BJ, me and you are intelligent people, right? When there's hundreds of billions of dollars floating around, you mean to tell me that there's not a puppet master behind that? There's not somebody controlling that? Really? Really?
The same guys who's been controlling it this whole time, right?
The whole time. And everybody's like, oh no, it's on the blockchain. It's encrypted. It's okay. Hello. There's $500 billion floating around, or $1 trillion, or whatever, however much Bitcoin there is. For you, not you, but for anyone to think that there is not a puppet master behind that kind of money, or multiple companies and people not behind pulling the strings like this, to me, that's just complete nonsense.
Yeah.
But I think it goes.
So what do you?
I'm sorry. I just think it goes to.
No. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think they take the base of it, of the blockchain. I think that's okay. The banks do, the government, and they develop. I hate to say it, but they develop a digital currency in which they control. So instead of like the U.S. dollar, it's the U.S. coin. It's digital.
Yep.
They tax it, control it. They don't use Bitcoin, Ethereum. And I think that they're waiting and watching what happens with Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these other ones, and keep track of all the mistakes and all the glitches. And then once enough glitches have happened that the government can figure out, then okay, they screwed up. You know, Tom Brady lost
Yeah.
50 million because of Bitcoin. This guy lost because of Bitcoin. Okay, now we know where all the issues are. Now the US government comes out with a coin based not on
Yeah.
crypto, but the blockchain, which is secure. And I think that's where it ends up. That is if we don't kill ourselves by something in another way or
Yeah.
self-destruct, which seems to be happening to me.
Yep. And we've always talked about, you know, the digital currency. They're trying to make it all digital so they can track you and follow you. And here we are just jumping right in it with the Bitcoin, you know? Oh, come on, let's get it. Oh, come on. And you're like,
what happened in El
forget about
Salvador?
the dollar, man.
El Salvador went Bitcoin. El Salvador, the
Oh,
president.
yeah, they're on
and
Bitcoin
it's
now,
a
right?
fucking mess over there. Yeah, my friend,
Really?
my friend
'cause
goes
it went
back.
down because,
Yeah,
wow,
that's what
wow.
I'm saying.
Because the whole, yeah, these guys are, what do you do, man? I mean, we've always been thinking, we've been talking about since Desert Storm that, oh, well, the dollar's going to fail. What's going to happen or this and that. But you always think, well, the dollar's as strong as our military is because, you know, you got to be able to beat us to make our dollar fail first. But, you know, you got all these different things and now they're just going to take the dollar out and, you know, and put it into the digital. I'm worried about that. I'm worried.
Yeah,
I'm worried.
And let me tell you something: the high-end military guys are not happy because they're not getting any money. They got fucking timeout cards, like timeout cards. I'm not going to say which part of the military because, you know, whatever. But say your lieutenant saying you're a pussy, you're whatever. Oh, you can't take it. Timeout. What are you going to do if there's a war and you got 10 guys at you with a machine gun? What are you going to do? Timeout?
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah,
And we're not funding it, by the way, either.
that's crazy. No, and with the Bitcoin, I mean, say you got an APB on you and they freaking shut down your whole fucking fucking bank account, you're fucked.
That's it. They own
you know?
They own you.
And they'll push you right into the media, do whatever they want to you in the media. And you know, these people are as when I ran for governor over here, the first thing they did was come at me with they did some penal trial or something. They charged me for something a year old and they were and the police, all the police on the island, nobody wanted to serve me a subpoena because it was on a private property. But Josh Green, and I don't know if he had help from the mayor of Hawaii, from the Big Island or whatever, but because he was the prosecuting attorney, they were trying to get this subpoena on me because they knew that it wasn't on, they knew it was on private property, but they just wanted to run it through the news and had to show videos of me getting arrested and everything. And I really, you know, the prosecuting attorney, who is now the mayor of Hawaii that we gave money to and supported, you know, these people are just in with everybody. And my ex, my mother of my children, she called me and she goes, BJ, they're after you for that thing a long time ago, and they're only after you because you're running for governor. I said, how do you know? And she goes, because I called them every day to take you to jail, because I wanted to destroy you, and they wouldn't do anything. But now that you've ran for governor, they called me and they want my help. And she just started laying the whole thing down, and I was like, what? That's going on? So they were after me. They were trying to shut me down early. See, they don't want to give any. They know I'm not going to win, but the sooner they can shut you down. Well, he ran for governor. Look, the guy's a criminal. Look at this and that. You know, they cannot give us hope.
Nope.
Humans are the most deadly animal, right? Remember when you go to the zoo when you were a kid, they'd be like, the most dangerous animal, and you look and behind the bars was a mirror. It's the human, right? Yeah. The most dangerous animal. And these guys know that. Yeah. These guys know. Yeah. Remember that, right? Back in the day, they used to have that.
and now it all makes sense, right?
Now it all makes sense. Now it makes sense how serious they got to get with us. And they know, imagine if they would have let me win the primary. That's why they had somebody they thought that was going to beat me in the primary, and the whole Republican Party got behind them. But they knew that I was doing fine. Hey, take her out, please. and they knew that I was doing fine on all of the question and answers, and she didn't have a chance. They knew that it just wasn't plausible. They couldn't sell it. So then they had this other guy come in, and then, like I said, you need a good name, you need a fake poll, and you need the mail-in ballots. Oh, you just lost unanimous decision. Oh, did I? Well, can I see the judges' scorecards? No, you can't see the judges' scorecards. You lost unanimous decision. Go home. Get into the locker room and see how many friends are waiting for you in the back.
Let me ask you this. When you were running, were they asking you the same questions that they were asking your opponent, or were your questions much different than your opponent's?
When we went to the debate,
to the debate,
I guess in the debate, my questions were different. It was about me getting in trouble or whatever I did, but they would act like it came from, so everybody at home is getting their question ready and they want to know what you feel about all your past history that you've had. And then I come out straight, and then I would just tell them that I would always have good answers for this, that what you can I don't know why none are coming to mind right now, but I always had some good answers, and I would always just say, sometimes I've been beaten, sometimes I was treated fair, sometimes I was treated unfairly, but this is what ties me to this struggle, and this is what ties me to the people of Hawaii. They've never gave up on me, and I'll never ever give up on them. And then I just start going, because that's all you can do is just speak from the heart. You know what I mean? And that's all.
I asked because whether you like Donald Trump or you don't like Donald Trump, when what's his name, who is now with CNN, asked those questions, he would ask Biden, like, what color's the sky? And then he would ask Trump, what are you going to do with China? You got 15 seconds. Biden, what's your favorite soda to drink? Coke or Pepsi? Pepsi. Trump, what are you going to do about North Korea? Seconds, right? I mean, whether you like it or not. I mean, that's how that went.
Biden,
that's how that went.
Yeah. Right? What happened in your last Pepsi challenge, Biden? Coca-Cola won. No, you're right, though. That's some funny shit.
I'd like to know what they were shooting him up with. I think it's starting to wear off a little bit too quick.
And do you remember they said they were trying to look if he had an earpiece in his ear or whatever, and Biden wouldn't let him look or whatever? You remember hearing all those things? And man, it's theater, man. This is all theater.
And then
from whatever it is down the line.
This will make you laugh, and it will even make you laugh, Scott. Roger Stone came in, and Roger Stone's he's a crazy. You know what I'm talking about, Roger Stone?
Is he the one? Which one's Stone?
Roger Stone he's older. He's Trump's guy, kind of. This podcast is brought to you by Liquid IV. This is a product I always use after I run, work out, and do the sauna. It's a great way to hydrate the body and feeling your best self. All you do is 1 stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water. It hydrates the body faster and more efficient than water alone. 3 times the electrolytes as other sports drinks, and contains 5 essential vitamins: B5, B12, B3, B6, and vitamin C. It also tastes great. Flavors like watermelon, lemon lime, strawberry, and many more. Buy in bulk at Costco or go to liquidiv.com and use the code MSCS Media, no space, for 15% off. No other way to hydrate the body. He's been around for. He's nuts. He's nuts. To me, he's normal, but he's just.
Are him and Trump still? Like this?
They're still cool. They're still cool. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they're like they used to be, but they're still cool. But he's one that says it like it is, man. He came in and right. I don't know if you saw.
What did he say? Yeah.
Stone.
Go watch that.
Stone came in and. Right off the bat, he gets mad quick. He would have been a great fighter, really. He gets mad, and he starts going like this, and he goes, this fucking Nancy Pelosi, I take my steak knife and shove it right in her neck, and then I'd eat my filet just the way I like it and eat it and think of her the whole time. And I'm like, Stone, would you like me to cut that? Do you realize you're in the media all the time? Don't cut it. I mean, he's just a nut. But
Wow.
I had a good point to him, and now I forget what I was going to say about him. I forget where I was, but there was a good point about Roger that I was going to say, but I can't remember. But yeah, it's just the whole thing's just it's just a shit show. You know what I mean? And last thing,
It's
and
interesting,
then,
man. It's
whenever you have time, I love that. I just want to ask you real quick one thing. What do you think about all that shit yesterday with Trump? An hour just burying him. To me, it sounds like they're going to come after him.
where on the media? Where on
Yeah,
the news?
Yeah, like the Supreme Court came out with their referral to the DOJ. Did you see that?
Okay, and for what, the January 6th?
Yeah. Did you see that?
What's that for?
Oh my God.
No, I didn't see it yesterday.
Oh,
What they do?
Basically, they made Trump look like a kingpin.
Well, when these guys are so smart that like when they with the guy that they put in to do the job to take me out, he was the guy that was gonna just rip the whole new Republican Party that just formed in Hawaii. And I almost feel like I see that happening with DeSantis and Trump now. This thing is just gonna go and just rip. These guys are so smart, man. These guys are so smart that they know how to just rip them in half. And I know DeSantis has done good with the Florida and everything, but I really see the media behind them, and it really makes you wonder why is the media behind one guy and not behind another guy when we all know what goes on at this point, So it's right. All you can do is sit there and smile because it's just like what the.
Me and you had tape. Me and you had tape to watch, drive, good coaches and good people around us. These guys got the brains of the world to tell them what to do, all the money in the world to tell them what to do to have the best strategy, and are the sickest individuals in the world. Not us. They're the sick ones. And they have all the money to do everything they want, any way they want, either way, whether it's a Republican or Democrat. They have all the power. So if you take, like when we were fighting, especially you, now imagine if you had $1 billion at your disposal and the smartest people around you ever that calculated every step, this, that, whatever, you'd be unbeatable.
Yeah.
You'd be a machine.
Right.
And you were a machine without them, So how do you beat them?
Man.
You got to do it, BJ. Well, you got to do what you're going to do. You got to come out, strategize, run again, and win. Because now you know what you're up against.
When they say you can't, you must.
So what are you going to do? You're going to win.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm for you.
We're going to get back in there.
I'll fly out there and get a 6 month. I'll get a place for 6 months so I can residency.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, man. I'm all for it.
That'd be awesome, man.
This was a blast, man. Thank you so much.
You know what? Okay, and you got my number, so you hit me up and you say, BJ, don't be a pussy. Get out, get your name. I see it. You gotta go put your name in there right now.
You know I will.
You let me know.
You know I will. You bet you do it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time and honor. Everything you accomplished. I mean, we didn't get to all of it, but we had a great conversation. It was so fun. Great to meet you. And you're one hell of a guy and super fucking smart. Super smart.
Thank you for that.
You deserve
for those words, and thank you for treating me well on here, and thank you for all the kind words. And I had a great time. I had a lot of fun. Dr. Pete, he told me I was gonna have a great time. He told me I was gonna have a lot of fun talking to you. And thank you. Thanks for having me on, Matt.
I want to thank Dr. Pete Goldman. It wasn't for him, I wouldn't have met Tony. Tony's my boy. I can never say his name last right, even though I'm Italian too. But love you, Tony. And real quick, I'll tell everyone what Dr. Pete did for you, because he helped you out with your shoulder, right? Yes,
he did. And he's the zone healing. It was actually when I was in my prime, around 26 or 27. I hurt my neck real bad, and it was one of those things that you feel it like a pinch,
Pinch nerve,
like a stinger. Yeah, it kept going, and I never thought it would actually get better, and he fixed it, man. The zone healing, and and I love it because he does it. He's like, okay, you're fine. No, don't worry, you're fine. Go get out of here, you're fine. But that's right. Everything's right here.
Yep.
And Dr. Pete knows that.
Yep. Shout out
Dr. Pete knows that. So
Dr. Pete, he's been a great guy to me, as is Tony, as is Bass, all great people. And thank you for your time. It's been an honor, and just like two boys hanging out, having a great conversation. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Two old fighters
Yep.
hanging out, talking
Thank you, man.
story.
I'm looking forward to
Thank
hearing
you.
your strategy. I'm gonna text you to keep on you.
You got it. You got it.